What's going on? Welcome to Cleave to Antiquity. My name is Ben, and today I got a wild episode for you today. I'm going to be breaking down the roots of grifting situation that's been going on. Absolutely crazy, dude. Absolutely crazy. So we've been calling this out for a little while with the Roots of Orthodoxy guy has been saying some pretty crazy stuff about the Orthodox Church, calling Orthodox Christians Muslims, calling us Protestants, all sorts of other things. By the way, let me know if my audio is fine. Looks like a freaking cat got in here and chewed my microphone. Lord of mercy. Anyway, so we've been breaking down the roots of Orthodoxy situation, but I guess some priests are finally starting to reach out and say, "Hey, we want our videos removed. We don't want them on your platform anymore." So I think this is actually a really good thing. Oh, is the audio quiet? Y'all let me know. Hold on, let me fix my mic. There you go. How about that? How about that? Is that better? Can you hear me fine? Or is this guy just trolling me? You guys let me know. Is my audio fine or is it bad? There you go. All right, perfect. All right, so the guy from Roots of Orthodoxy, the Jonathan kid. So I guess we have some priests that are saying like, "Hey, look, maybe maybe we shouldn't have our videos on this guy's channel if he's going to be making this massive turn into literally attacking the Orthodox faith, calling us Muslims, calling us Protestants, idiots, retards, whatever." So I think this is a good thing that they're reaching out to try to get their videos taken down. Let me pull up the message that was sent to me. So this one was from Father Zechariah Lynch, who has been on the show before. Somebody forwarded me this message on Instagram, and I went and I confirmed, and his videos are actually already removed from the Roots of Orthodoxy platform. But he sent this message, and he says, you may share the response below on your story. So if you guys want to share this, feel free to share it. This is the message. May the Lord bless. Yes, given the radical change exhibited by Jonathan at Roots of Orthodoxy and his unfortunate attacks on Orthodoxy, I requested all materials on the site containing interviews with me be removed. He amicably agreed to do that. Roots of Orthodoxy would not be what it became without the gracious interviews that hundreds of Orthodox priests, I don't know if he interviewed hundreds, and others gave in good faith. At the time, we trust in the good intentions of the interview, which I think he maintained for a while. Sadly, he has turned to bashing the faith of the hundreds of priests that made Roots of Orthodoxy what it is. I would encourage any other Orthodox priests to remove their material as well. Or to request their material to be removed too. We can always vote with our feet, so to speak. May the Lord have mercy on us all. So this is Father Zechariah Lynch. I mean, very, very humble priest, wonderful priest, very inspirational priest, very level-headed, not a hot-headed guy whatsoever. So if this is the priest that is telling you, hey, you've gone a little too far, well, maybe some people should start to listen to him. There's some merit to what he's saying. Father Zechariah Lynch is a very wise priest. And I know a lot of people were calling this out for quite some time, including Jay. This was one of the first major red flags. This was when Roots goes on this lady's channel and calls out the online ortho bros. And listen to what he has to say about us here.
When the shooting happened at the Annunciation Church, at the Catholic Church, these guys were freaking silent. All of these Orthodox guys were silent. And that pisses me off. They were
literally no one was silent about this. Everybody had something to say, including me.
Silent until they found out that an Orthodox girl got shot. And that's when they started caring. They started caring only when they found out that that Orthodox girl got shot. You Orthodox apologists are absolutely freaking disgusting.
Me? I'm I'm disgusting.
You're a disgusting human being. You are trash.
What? I'm trash.
I'm not I'm not scared to say that. You are a disgusting human being that you only cared about these kids. You didn't care about these kids. You only cared about the person who was Orthodox.
Dog. Meanwhile, I literally had posts where I was calling out what's his face? Taco Talks. When he was refusing to pray for the victims before he had that debate with the Jesus and whatnot. You remember that? I think that was Taco Talks. Taco Talks. Yeah, what the? There you go. From the debate last night, and this was in August, from the debate last night, Taco Talks refuses to pray for the families of the children that died in the Catholic school shooting. Instead, he stares blankly into the camera and drinks water. Now, his excuse is, well, I don't pray with Roman Catholics. Yeah, that's fine, but you still could have been the one to pray. Like, you could have led the prayer or just done it yourself. Instead, he was just like this. That's nice, guys. He didn't even just stay silent. He starts drinking and stuff.
Bad thing that happened today to a Catholic church from a person. I'm sure we all know. I don't want to break the guidelines here, but I would love to say a prayer for those children and the families affected, if I may. Is that okay with you guys?
Go ahead.
Thank you very much. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Lord Jesus, we thank you so much for bringing us here today. We pray that we have a respectful discussion. We pray that these men speak according to what is true and only what is true. All glory to you. Lord Jesus, I want to pray for the 2 children who were deceased today in that terrible accident, Lord Jesus.
And he just starts sipping. He's like, yeah, that's nice. Let me get a little sipperoonie.
Please take care of them. Please welcome them into your kingdom. And for all of the families and all the people injured and affected, Lord Jesus, please be with them and guide them and heal.
Look at how disgusted he looks. He's like, yeah, that's nice. Finish your yapping. Finish your yapping. Where's Roots of Orthodoxy's performative sniffles over Taco Talk's deadpan stare into the camera?
In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son.
Just, yeah, when are you going to quit yapping? We get it, dude. Oh, we get it. Oh, let me take a little sip. So we literally did talk about it. This post, and it wasn't like people didn't see this post. This post got 141,000 views back in August. So anyway, Roots has been crashing out on Orthodoxy, doing just complete slop polemics. You can see this especially on Instagram. Let me see if I find this real quick. Instagram. He's been getting pretty bad, especially if you follow his Roots of Faith channel. This guy here, Orthodox Misfit, who originally, I guess, was defending. This guy originally was defending Roots of Orthodoxy. And then he ended up getting sick of it. He's like, okay, actually, I've been being used as a kind of useful idiot. That's what his own words, not me. I'm not insulting the guy. I don't know much about this guy at all. But he says, I feel I've been rendered a useful idiot, and I must admit, I feel nearly as angry as I do disappointed, yada, yada. And he starts to talk about voice of reason and roots of grifting.
Their apologetic arguments, they're not impressive. So I feel like watching the videos is a waste of time. They have a really bad grasp and understanding of history.
Out of all the 4 apostolic churches, I found that the Eastern Orthodox have a very loose understanding of history. The Oriental Orthodox and even the Assyrian Church of the East, they have more fidelity to the historical truths.
Yes, the Eastern Orthodox are the Muslims of the apostolic churches.
Jonathan,
the Eastern Orthodox are Muslims. We're Muslims. I guess I got to start drinking camel pee like a Muslim. Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that video? It's so disgusting. The hadith is literally a Sahih Bukhari hadith of Muslims drinking camel pee. Muhammad's like, it is wonderful medicine. You have to drink. Why am I doing a voice of reason voice? The Council of Ephesus did not say we cannot drink camel piss.
Allowed me to publicly defend you because you led myself and others to believe that you truly felt the Holy Spirit in our church, that you believed our clergy were wise and humble, and that despite being Catholic, you felt there was profound beauty and truth in Eastern Orthodoxy, and so you were happy to see people coming to any of the ancient churches. After all, this would be the only way to innocently justify running an Orthodox page. And you claimed that your grievances were only with the supposed ortho bros, being uncharitable and slanderous and called.
All right, look, with the quote unquote ortho bros. This is a dog whistle. I've been saying this for a while. This is a dog whistle. When they are attacking the ortho bros, what they're actually doing is they're just attacking any Orthodox that is not an ecumenist. They use this as it's a meaningless distinction. It is a meaningless distinction. So don't be like, oh, like we can all think of an ortho bro that's really mean online. Like we can all think of like some random anon that's dropping the gamer word on X or something. This is what you're thinking of. What they're thinking of is like me, Jay, Alex, Soren, like almost all of our priests. Just about good grief, dude.
And Catholic miracles fraudulent. But now you've used this very claim to justify repeatedly insulting Eastern Orthodox as being the Muslims of Christianity, calling our own miracles fraudulent, a miracle which even your own popes have only ever praised.
Yeah, did you know that? Did you know that the popes literally just after the schism, basically said anybody that denies the holy fire miracle must have like the faith of what did they say is they're like an animal. They're like a beast. Oh, what, can you guys not hear me? Yeah, there you go. Pope Urban II launched the first crusade citing the holy fire. Exactly. And he said, if you're not stirred to faith through this miracle, you're like a beast. You're like a subhuman beast.
And even cursed those who would deny it. And you would accuse not only our clergy, but our saints as being uneducated or twisting scripture and having no grasp of church history. Scriptures and history you profess you were still discerning until just some weeks ago, before deciding to wage war on the same church that gave you a name and a living, and her clergy who welcomed you with open arms, with humility and love. To run this page with no malintent would necessitate having a unique appreciation for our church, but instead you seem to have a uniquely low view of us, while simultaneously cozying.
Yeah, that's true. Him and Ish both shared posts that are like, yeah, all the apostolic churches are fine except for the Orthodox. The Orthodox are like subhuman scum. We hate them. They're like, all of the apostolic churches are fine except for the Orthodox. We freaking hate them now. They're literally sharing posts like this on Instagram. And you know why they're sharing stuff like that? It's because they realized at the end of this entire journey that the Orthodox Church is the only church that actually has exclusivity claims, and we hold to them. We are not ecumenists. You can find lay people that are ecumenists, or you can find, I'm not going to say too much more, but you can find some people that are ecumenists, but the Orthodox Church, Orthodox Christianity is not ecumenist. And they worship the religion of ecumenism. This is why Ish and Roots and all these other dudes will partner with Monophysites. They'll partner with sometimes even Protestants, so on and so forth. It's because they're ecumenists.
Up to the Oriental Church, presumably because you don't see them as a serious threat. You should hand the page to someone Eastern Orthodox, like you said.
Yeah, and I had a conversation with Jonathan about that, and he said he was going to hand it to patristic patristic nectar. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's just going to keep it. I honestly, I think he's just going to keep it.
But of course, I understand you'd no longer be able to acquire ad revenue from our faithful and our inquirers.
I've seen lots of videos, even from Orthodox recently, about the flame being a hoax and a court case in Greece. No, the court case in Greece does not affirm that it is a hoax. That's absolutely retarded. The court case in Greece, I covered this as a Protestant. So here's something that I need you guys to know. The holy fire miracle. Look, even if you're like agnostic on it being a real miracle or whatever, the stuff that they're putting forward is all stuff that I put forward myself when I was a Protestant. Egan stole his information from my old video. Freaking what's his face? Cameron Bertuzzi stole his from Egan's. They don't even realize they're just stealing old arguments that I made years ago. It's really, really stupid. But here's the thing. That court case has nothing to do with whether or not it is a real miracle. The court case had to do with whether or not the church could sue that journalist. And the state said, no, you can't sue the journalist. He can publish what he wants. It has nothing to do with whether or not it's a genuine miracle. That's just goofy. How are you going to say, like, what do you mean a court case proves a miracle? That makes no sense. I mean, that wouldn't even make even half sense. But look, this is the thing. Even if you were to take this to the extent that you're like, okay, for the sake of argument, we'll grant that the holy fire is not a genuine miracle. What does that really do for Orthodoxy? What devotion, what liturgical, or what devotion is really based upon this? This is a pilgrimage site. Okay. What would it show? Oh, somebody was bad and they did a bad thing. That's ultimately the extent of it. Whereas if you flip that on its head and you say, well, let's go examine Roman Catholic miracles. If I were to prove the Sacred Heart devotion is based off of a demonic delusion, well, guess what? That actually does disprove Roman Catholicism because they commemorate it liturgically. They literally commemorate the Sacred Heart devotion liturgically. The same thing with the Divine Mercy Chaplet. If I were to go back and I were to prove Sister Faustina was under a demonic delusion, that actually does disprove Roman Catholicism. This pilgrimage site thing, even if it wasn't a real miracle, would not disprove Orthodoxy. And look, when I decided to become Orthodox, I was still skeptical of this miracle. That should tell you something. It's not the end all be all. But here's the thing. Whether or not we say this, for a Roman Catholic to be criticizing the holy fire miracle is peak idiocy. They don't even realize that their own popes have literally cursed and condemned people who would reject this miracle. So from their perspective, if you are a Roman Catholic and you are criticizing this miracle, well, guess what? Previous popes have said you are a subhuman beast. Literally what they're saying. They cited this as a justification to doing the Crusades. Now, granted, later on when it stopped working for them, it stopped working for the Roman Catholics, then they did a 180 on it and they said, okay, no, we don't think it's real anymore. But they don't realize they're literally coming under previous popes' condemnations. It's just so dumb.
And then again, if you truly feel that Eastern Orthodoxy is this great falsehood and that the Holy Spirit has abandoned us, I would think that not deleting it would produce an internal conflict in a follower of Christ. But that's okay. I pray that you do leave it up and that your content will continue to bring more converts to Christ's holy Orthodox Church.
You're going to see that everything.
All right, so there you go. We have Father Timothy saying, I've seen the holy fire. I can vouch for its veracity in as much as I have interacted with it. Well, there you go. Well, hey, if any super rich ortho bros want to fly me out, actually, I don't want to go to Israel. I don't want to go to Israel at all. Actually, I take that back. Not right now, anyway. Anyway, I've seen the Holy Fire. I could vouch it for its veracity in as much as I've interacted with it. Interesting. All right. Well, let me read some of these super chats and we'll get into what I wanted to discuss on this. Hit the goal. Hit the like sub to Cleve So True. Smash that subscribe button. Hey, Ben, Mahler mentioned being open to chatting with you in his review of his talk with Ryan. Think we can see this happen? Yeah, tell him to call in. Tell him to call in. I will chat with Mahler. I mean, he might bark. He might bark me down. He might just like bark at me, but I'm willing to try to have a friendly conversation with him. That Bob the Builder guy, the ecumenist that does the anti-Islam polemics or whatever, that guy said he would have a chat with me, but I think he's doing a double take on that. If Jonathan wanted to stay Roman Catholic, fine. But to start deceiving priests is just disrespectful and egregious. Yes. Well, I had a conversation with him about this, and he said, "Oh, I wasn't intending to be deceptive, though I could see how people would say I am." And I said, "No, I think you're a liar, but I appreciate you doing ABC 1, 2, 3 and moving away from the priest interviews," because he said he's going to stop doing that. At least that's what he said to me over the phone. And then he assured me he's going to give it to somebody, or he's going to just keep it and not do anything else with it. But then he jokes around. He says he's going to give it to Agan. I don't know if that's a joke or not, but I doubt he's actually going to give it to Agan. I think he's just trying to make us mad. Calls Eastern Orthodox Muslims as an insult. Also believes also believes Muslims and Catholics worship the one God. You can't make this up. Yeah, it's really goofy. And these people will try to cite mistranslations of our patriarchs saying a similar statement. But when you actually go and you translate them, like I know there was one that was circulating a while ago from Kirill, and it was literally saying they believe in one God, not the same God. And then simultaneously, you have statements from the Moscow Patriarchate saying it's heresy to believe that Muslims and Christians worship the same God. So you think the Moscow Patriarchate is going to condemn its own patriarch? That doesn't make any sense. It's just this slop argumentation. What do you mean you don't want to see the holy? We love Israel. So true. We love Israel. Bibi Netanyahu, please, if I go there, do not goy beam me. Do not destroy me with your powerful Israeli lasers as soon as I land. I'm begging you, Bibi. Every negative thing I've ever said about Israel is a complete joke. I actually love Israel. I love it. Send me 5 million super chats right now. And whatever you do, if I go to Israel, do not blast me with the goy beam from outer space. I do not appreciate it. I don't want that to happen, actually. That doesn't sound nice. That sounds very bad, actually. All right. So I wanted to highlight his responses to this little reel here. So I said, the piety signalers are usually the worst subversives. This is true. And you'll see this over and over and over again. The people that just keep it real, the people that are a little more rough around the edges, Jay, some of these older folks, Jim Bob, me, Alex Soren, whoever else you could think of, the people who are maybe a little more rough around the edges, you don't have to worry about us being subversive too much. You worry about the people who are fake nice and try to get cozy with people in high places so they can whisper poison in their ears. That's exactly what this gentleman did. And he did this. He tried to get our bishops on. He got the Metropolitan on. He got one of the Rocor bishops on. And he would try to ask them questions to frame it as if he's condemning Ortho Bros or any online Orthodox. And this was his kind of mode of operation. There are different types. There are different types of argumentation, and for him, it was a propaganda campaign, basically, which ended up failing. The piety signalers are usually the worst subversives. I'm more so. Jonathan is out in the open now, and I told him that over the phone. By the way, I said I'm glad you're moving into anti-Orthodox polemics, because at least you're not going to be pretending to be nice to us and then stabbing us in the back. I think that's actually an improvement from what he was doing with the Roots of Orthodoxy channel, which he was just trying to be a subversive and whisper poison into our priests' ears, the bishops' ears, so on and so forth. rather than feigning friendship and attempting to whisper poison into the ears of our hierarchs and clergy behind closed doors. This is him, Roots of Faith podcast. He responds. He says, your hierarchs aren't as stupid as you think they are. One cannot whisper poison to clergy and manipulate them unless you think they're naive. So notice he didn't deny. Notice he didn't deny that he was talking to them with a evil agenda. Notice he did not deny it. He said, oh, you must think they're so stupid and they don't have any discernment that when I tell them they should be condemning people online and they should really crack down on all the people that are mean to me, you must be really stupid to think that they wouldn't have any discernment when listening to me say that. He says, is it piety signaling or simply living the faith Christ asked us to live? Jonathan, I don't know if platforming and promoting a sexual predator is living the life that Christ asked us to live. You are literally the guy that has been enabling, platforming, and pushing Voice of Reason back out into the public square after his bishop told him he needs to stop making content. You are the guy that is doing this. Is it piety signaling or is it just living the faith Christ asked us to live? No, being a wicked subversive is not living the faith Christ asked us to live. I thought you Protestants are big on scripture. You should know better. So he's calling Orthodox Christians Protestants. You Protestant, notice your hierarchs aren't as stupid as you think they are. In the same breath, he's calling the Orthodox hierarchs and Orthodox Christians Protestants in the same breath as addressing our hierarchs. Notice just 2 months ago, he had Metropolitan Saba on. And how does he thank the Orthodox Christians? He thanks them by calling us Protestants in the same breath as mentioning our hierarchs. It's just wicked. It's just evil. But he can't help but let it slip. He can't help but let it slip. And people are it's becoming so obvious that people are starting to push back and clergy are starting to push back. I believe I heard somewhere Father Stephen DeYoung had some videos on there that he requested to be taken down a while ago. Now we have Father Zechariah Lynch that has said he wants his videos taken down. They are taken down from the platform. So if there are any priests that have gone on this guy's show that watch my channel, I would encourage you, and even Father Zechariah Lynch, who I was discussing earlier, he said the same thing. They should request their content to be removed. This is the message from Father Zechariah Lynch. I'd encourage any other Orthodox priest to request their material to be removed too. We can always vote with our feet, so to speak. May the Lord have mercy on us all. And I don't blame them for doing this. I think this is a good move. I think they should request their stuff to be removed. So the guy is literally calling us Muslims and Protestants just 2 months after having the Metropolitan on his show. It's just, I mean, you can't make it up. It's terrible. It's wicked. And in the same thread, this is the same thread that he jokes around. He says, yeah, I'm going to give the page to Agan the Monophysite. So this is exactly who we're dealing with here, this subversive. So anyway, now priests are calling this guy out. They're saying, look. No, I think he, didn't he also have one on here? Maybe I'm mistaken. I could have swore. Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so this guy basically is attacking the faith. His buddy Ish was doing the same thing. Let me go ahead and I'll pull that guy up. Ish of Arabia. There you go. Ish of Arabia, this guy here. He's been on my show before, but he was literally posting this kind of thing. Islam and Eastern Orthodoxy share a critical weakness. No final living authority to settle doctrine or to enforce unity. Basically, no pope. Both Islam, I mean, this is like the stupidest way that you could have worded this. But it just shows the way that he framed this was very intentional, because you could say this about literally every other group other than the papacy, because this is what he's trying to argue, is that they don't have a pope. Islam and Eastern Orthodox. I mean, you could say like Satanists and atheists, the guys that work at KFC don't have a pope. It's so stupid. But they don't understand. They literally don't understand how our ecclesiology works. We do have a final living authority. It's the consensus of the bishops. It's a consensus of the church. It's our normative authority, which, guess what, is the same ecclesiology of the first 1,000 years of the church, which you guys literally admit, your hierarchs literally admit, our ecclesiology is the ecclesiology of the first 1,000 years. Go read the writings. Go read the writings of Pope John Paul II. Go read the writings that Pope Leo has affirmed, the Chedi and Alexandria document. This isn't that complicated. Unresolved teachings. So he's saying that since these things aren't dogma, the nature of hell, toll houses. So you're just going to highlight, okay, so what about limbo? Limbo, unresolved teaching, limbo. You guys taught it for a long time. You don't teach it anymore. What's up with that? Unresolved teachings. Oh, they've got unresolved teachings in Roman Catholicism because they no longer teach limbo. So stupid. Overlapping jurisdictions, competing patriarch. Oh, so you mean like the same issues that the church had in the first 1,000 years of the church? Well, the original church is probably going to have the same issues the original church had in the first 1,000 years. You know what's really easy? Moving away from the synodal model of the church, where you're ruled by the pentarchy and all of these things, and you go off and you do your own thing. And now you say, oh, look, now that I'm all by myself, we don't have any more of these interjurisdictional issues. Now that I'm all by myself, we don't have these because I left everyone. I locked myself in the closet. I cut myself off from the church. Now we don't have these issues because now it's just one guy. Now it's just a synod of one guy that says whatever I say goes. Well, you know how that's worked out so far for the Roman Catholic Church? That's how you got Vatican II. That's how you are literally ruled by a guy that says that his church is subservient to the freaking United Nations. Surprise, surprise. When the Bishop of Rome can be questioned and critiqued by no one, well, guess what? That causes some pretty freaking big problems. Meanwhile, in our system, if you have a patriarch that is teaching heresy or is doing ABC 1, 2, 3, well, every bishop has the right to excommunicate another bishop. Guess what? They had that right in the first 1,000 years of the church. Guess who can't do that anymore? Rome. Rome can't do it. Pretty big deviation there. Pastoral inconsistency. Okay, look, I want to highlight this because this is probably the stupidest argument that Roman Catholics try to put forth. They do not understand that their own documents, Amoris Laetitia, allows for the same thing. They just haven't done it in practice yet. Amoris Laetitia literally says the exact same thing. Notice this. And they don't know this because they don't actually read their own documents. They literally do not know this. Where is this? Yeah, where do I have my Amoris Laetitia links? Hold on. And then simultaneously, what they do currently do is they will allow for annulments for the stupidest reasons. So you could be married for like 15 years, and then all of a sudden your marriage never actually existed because of you were mistaken about the quality of a person. You or your spouse intended to marry someone who either possessed or did not possess a certain quality. I thought that guy, I had to go to my priest. I gave him $100 and he said I could leave my man's because I thought he was Ursher famous. I thought he was famous like Ursher. But turns out he was just I don't know who's a not famous rapper. I can't even think of any. I don't even listen to rap. He wasn't even Ursher famous, dude. So I had to go get me a little moment. So I totally not a divorce, by the way. But we had 3 kids. 15 years later, it turns out our marriage was completely fake. That's it. Because the canon said I could do it. Not a big deal. Meanwhile, the Orthodox actually deal with the historical with the actual reality of the issues, and will offer penances to those that sin. But they want to highlight this as some massive deviation when it's literally not. And the things that they do are 20 times worse. And they'll try to highlight this as some kind of an own because they know it tricks the sub 90 IQ suits that don't know how to do the reading for themselves. This is why they use the little poppy things like, oh, you allow divorce. No, we freaking don't. We do not allow divorce. Nobody's blessing divorce. A priest will give a penance if somebody gets divorced. Guess who does the same thing? A freaking Roman Catholic. They will penance. They will give a penance for this. It's so stupid. They don't read their own documents. Where is the? There you go. All right. So, and notice this in Amoris Laetitia, these people don't know how to read. This is literally in Amoris Laetitia. You tell me if this sounds like the document was intended to allow for a potential remarriage. You tell me if this is how it sounds. Seeing things with the eyes of Christ inspires the church's pastoral care for the faithful who are living together or are only married civilly or are divorced and remarried. Notice this is what they're calling irregular situations or are divorced and remarried. When a couple in an irregular union attains a noteworthy stability through a public bond and is characterized by a deep affection, responsibility towards the children, and the ability to overcome trials, this can be seen as an opportunity where possible to lead them to celebrate the sacrament of matrimony. Roman Catholics, do you not know your own church, your own documents literally teach this? You don't know this. Of course you don't know this. Of course you don't know this because you don't read your own church's documents. I did, even when I was a Protestant, and I always knew this was a really stupid argument. So dumb. 5, claimed unity, lived fragmentation. Both claim to be one undivided body, yet both function as collections of competing authorities and opinions. Oh, so you mean like there are multiple patriarchates? Like in the first 1,000 years of the church? You don't think there's any unity in our teaching? There's more unity in Orthodox teaching than there are in Roman Catholicism. I could prove that too. There's more unity in Orthodox teaching than there is in Roman Catholicism. You know why? Because we have the same ecclesiology the first 1,000 years of the church. And when somebody actually steps out of line, our bishops have the right to excommunicate any other bishop. They have that right. You don't have that in Roman Catholicism. This is why you have German bishops out there teaching that it's okay for gay people to get married. This is why you have bishops out there teaching that it's okay for people to be trans. This is why you have Roman Catholic bishops out there teaching that you should be able to give the Eucharist to homosexuals. This is why you have clown mass. This is why you have bishops out there condemning literally Ish, saying, Ish, you should not be proselytizing Muslims. Because don't you know Muslims and Christians worship the same God? This is what your bishops told you, Ish. Oh, but they're all united. They're all so united, the Roman Catholics. They're all so united, Roman Catholics. It's a LARP. It is a complete LARP. The church that you guys picture when you think of Roman Catholicism is a church in your imagination. It's LARP land. Medieval Roman Catholicism does not exist anymore. Your base Crusader edits doesn't exist anymore. The Roman Catholic Church of today is fake and gay. Literally, That is the Roman Catholic Church today. It is an NGO that pushes for mass migration, that literally is fueling the destruction of the West. Even in Spain, they've naturalized 500,000 illegal immigrants as citizens. And who lobbied for that? I wonder who. That was the Roman Catholic bishops. 81%, 81.9%. I know the statistic. 81.9% of the USCCB's income comes from refugee resettlement into the United States. 81.9% of their income. The Roman Catholic Church is an NGO that is fueling the destruction of the West. And the only thing that's keeping you there is spiritual delusion and slop arguments. Billions will become Orthodox, dude. Billions. Billions. Billions will become Orthodox. And I'm going to show you one such example here. I just want to highlight this. I thought this was kind of cool. Now, I don't really know if this person is going to become Orthodox, but I do have some actual news to cover with this lady. I posted a short about this on Instagram and TikTok. By the way, if you don't follow me on Instagram or TikTok, I post stuff you will never see on YouTube because I can get a little more spicy out there. And I don't get hit with the copyright stuff as much on Instagram. So I post more on Insta. So follow me there. But anyway, Madonna posted this. So she had a trip to Patmos Island, and this is her attending a divine liturgy here, or at least attending one of the churches. She's got her, she's head covered there. She's lighting candles. This is her in Greece. There with an Orthodox priest. Here's her, another one inside an Orthodox church. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? Is she starting to lean towards Orthodoxy? I can give you one other piece of info to help you come to a conclusion here. Madonna. Let me search this up real quick. This was an article published by the UOJ. So this was Madonna. Madonna spent 3 hours at Varlam Monastery. I'm going to go ahead and open up the article here. So she spent 3 hours at the monastery seeking spiritual advice from the abbot. So she went to the monastery for guidance from the abbot. Some people were saying, oh, it's just like a photo shoot or whatever, like Madonna's untrustworthy. I agree she's untrustworthy, but that gives me a little bit of hope. She went there to go and talk to the abbot. American celebrity Madonna spent approximately 3 hours at the holy monastery of Varlam in Meteora on August 14th, reportedly seeking spiritual advice from the monastery's abbot during a private visit shortly before her 68th birthday. The singer arrived from Corfu by helicopter with her son and about a dozen companions. Because the monastery had already closed to the public, the monks opened the site specifically for her group. Madonna was accompanied by guides and reportedly maintained a discreet presence during her visit. A monk told the Greek publication that Madonna's conversation with the monastery's abbot, Father Benedict, was particularly personal and spiritual. She reportedly expressed interest in spiritual matters and asked the abbot for spiritual advice. She also asked about the prayer rope he was carrying. So she's interested in some of the Orthodox spirituality. Madonna left Varlam after 3 hours and continued to Corfu, where she was continuing her vacation in Greece. The Monastery of All Saints, commonly known as Varlam, stands on top of Meteora's imposing rock formations, yada, yada, yada. 7 monks live at the monastery. So there you go. We've got Madonna coming to Orthodox monasteries in Greece and talking to the abbot there for spiritual advice and saying, hey, I like your prayer rope. Teach me about your prayer rope. I don't know. I think that's kind of based. Say what you want about this woman. I know she's a little out there, but pray for her. Pray for her. I mean, this is what we care. We want the salvation of people's souls. And when we say billions will become Orthodox, that's what we mean. We mean billions. We mean billions will become Orthodox. So anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty neat. So while she's over there in Greece, she visits the monastery, and she goes and she speaks to the abbot for personal advice. Yeah. Yeah, I know. It could be a publicity stunt and all that stuff. It could be. But at the same time, pray for her. You never know. You never know. You never know. But anyway, I wanted to highlight that. I thought that was interesting. So pray for this woman. All right. So yeah, it's so funny. All right. So I already highlighted the stuff with Jonathan from Roots of Orthodoxy. Absolute mess there. W for our priests that are calling it out and saying, look, we want our videos taken down. I think that is definitely a step in the right direction. We got to stop supporting the stupid fake inquirer grift. There's way too many of these. Way too many of these. And this was a big thing maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and they really did trick quite a few people. And they cause a lot of damage. All right, so I'm going to move on into the next subject here. So we had Joel Webbon. Joel Webbon published a video. He went on PBD recently, and he did an interview that was talking about Christian nationalism and all this kind of stuff. I've already told you my concern with Protestant Christian nationalism. This just reminds me of like, it could be, who's the Puritan guy? I'm forgetting his name. Cromwell. It'd be another Cromwell situation because the guy is a reformed Baptist. All right. We've already had reformed theocracies in the past. Reformed Protestant Christian nationalism usually just ends up with the king's head chopped off and Christmas being banned and all the crosses in the churches being thrown out and destroyed. Like really, really stupid stuff. So I'm extremely skeptical of any Protestant group that wants to push Christian nationalism because I think to myself, what is this going to look like? So anyway, Joel Webbon says Catholics are wrong about how grace works. This is one section of the interview. I will go and I'll watch some of this interview here and I'll be reacting to it and I'll give some of my critiques. But he gives this pushback on Roman Catholic theology.
One of my big disagreements with Catholics is that through sacraments, right, through these different practices, the Eucharist, confession, all many of these things, good things, but there is an infusion of grace that comes again and again and again, all the way up until your death, right? Last rites from the priest, one more infusion of grace, get the bread down the gullet, and a sip of wine, because we need one more transfusion of grace, to lift the soul to make sure this guy doesn't go to hell. Or he goes to purgatory, but maybe, he'll be there for 100 years instead of 1,000. I just don't believe that's what the Bible teaches. I believe it's this once and for all righteousness of Christ, not just infused, but imputed to us, not by works, so that no man can boast.
Not infused. So he's saying not infused, but imputed to us. So he's saying basically, he's like, oh, well, it's sola fide. It's just like a one-time imputation of grace. We don't get grace multiple times in our life. Well, that's not biblical. You have several examples of people becoming full of grace, right? They're filled with the Holy Spirit at particular times. It's not just a one-time thing, right? So even from the way that he's trying to kind of frame this is wonky. But what he's actually trying to critique is this kind of light switch theology that Roman Catholics have. It's like, I'm saved. I'm in a state of grace. I'm not. I'm in a state of grace. I'm not. I'm in a state of grace. I'm not. I think he could benefit with a conversation from somebody that's Orthodox so we can explain to him how this actually works and the doctrine of theosis, because it is a dimmer. It's not a light switch. The light switch on, off, on, off, on, off, Western theological position for the Roman Catholics and some others is faulty, and he should critique this. But to say, oh, well, it's wrong, therefore I'm right, and it's only imputed righteousness. One, it's ahistorical, it's not biblical. It has always been infused. It's always been an infusion.
But by grace alone, through faith alone, in Christ alone.
And I mean, you could just walk through this logically. So if you were to look at, well, you talk to the Protestant guy and you say, well, hey, if you read your Bible, if you go to church, if you say your prayers, does this help keep you in the faith? If that's yes, and you have to stay in the faith until you die in order for you to go to heaven, well, then don't works play a part? Doesn't the cooperation with the Holy Spirit play a part? These things are helping you stay in the faith. They're helping you finish the race. So you don't understand that you have a synergistic position, whether you acknowledge it or not.
And I am at the end of the day, and I know my Catholic listeners will hear this. They'll be like, oh, that's so insufferable. Oh, Joel, we loved you, and you're being so gay. Here I am. Here I stand. So God help me. I am a Protestant.
For now, you're a Protestant. Joel Webbon, you want to come chat with me? We can chat. All right, I do want to look at his PBD podcast that he just did. So he's talking about Christian nationalism from his perspective, which is Protestant, basically. And I'm extremely skeptical of Protestant Christian nationalism because you get some real schizoids in these groups. The guy that is in his look, I'm telling you, let me show you something, because this might blow your mind. This might not. Some of you are a little retarded, but for those of you that aren't, I think this will actually blow your mind. This guy right here, Dale Partridge. This is one of Joel Webbon's good buddies. They're in the same coalition here. He's literally just debating random black guys on whether or not they're black because of a curse from God. This is the debate. This is the Christian nationalist crowd. Now you might say, "Oh, don't you know, Ben? My racism is based." I'm not even talking about racial politics or differences in genetics or anything like this. But when you make this a theological issue, you're kind of dumb. This is like a filter. This is a filter. This is an IQ filter, I think, and I think it's a pretty good one. If you can't distinguish between the based, this is like my based thing, or this is a serious theological error, well, I think that's a good IQ filter there. So Dale Partridge literally does an entire debate. This guy with the Latina wife, he's like a white Christian nationalist. He hates race mixing. He says interracial marriage is bad. That's his position. And he's like, yeah, but I make an exception. I have a Latina wife. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta give me some of that Latina flavor, dude. That's the curse of the tortas. that's the curse of the tortas, my friend. They're only I was gonna say something that might be bad. Hey, look, you got a good 30 years, 35 years, maybe 40 in some cases before the curse of the tortas kicks in, okay? you got a good little while before that curse kicks in. But anyway, when I say I've got some issues with Protestant Christian nationalism, this is what I mean. And there's also the guy Doug Wilson, who claims to be a Christian nationalist, and he talks about banning icon processions. What was it? Banning processions. Doug Wilson. Okay, here you go. Watch this.
Let me give you a couple.
So he's like, when we win, we're not going to allow what we consider to be idolatry to be done in the United States. What does this sound like to you? It sounds like the Puritans. It sounds like Cromwell. It sounds like Cromwell's banning the crosses, banning Christmas, banning dancing, all of this kind of crap. When you think Reformed Protestants, the Calvinists, the Joel Webbon types, the Doug Wilson types, even though he's not a Calvinist, I don't think he is. He runs a CREC. You guys can let me know. They're just fake LARP church. Dale Partridge, all these guys, you should think, oh, these guys sound based because they're super rigid. They like the patriarchal model and all this kind of crap. They're pushing back against feminism. All those things are based. But it's the poison in their worldview that really strikes back, and this is a good example of this.
Of very practical examples. Okay. Could Muslims be here? Live? Yes, they could be. Could they hold political office? No. Could Muslims gather together with their Muslim family and friends to pray to Allah? Yes. Right? Could you have a mosque? Yes. Could they have a minaret, a prayer tower that issues a public call to prayer? No, because the public spaces belong to Christ. Right? We're a Christian nation. So church bells are okay. Church bells are okay, but a Muslim call to prayer in the public space would not be okay. Catholic church bells would be okay. Right? Catholic church bells would be okay. But a parade in honor of the Virgin Mary, carrying an image of the Virgin Mary down Main Street, no, right?
So a procession of the icon of the Theotokos would not be allowed in Doug Wilson's Christian nationalist utopia. So they're like, oh, because that's idolatry. Because that's idolatry to us. So having images of Christ, images of the Virgin Mary, images of the saints, literally just being Orthodox or Roman Catholic. Well, guess what? No, we're going to persecute you worse than the Zionist leadership that we already have. It's actually going to be worse for you under Protestant Christian nationalism than it is to live under the neocons. That's what Doug Wilson is saying.
So
what about the Eucharist? What about the Eucharist? What about a Eucharistic procession?
That's a new one. I would say probably not. It would depend on what was being done around it, how it was being conducted. But basically, public displays of idolatry, what the Protestant foundation of the law would consider to be idolatry, would not be allowed. So you wouldn't have a Hindu procession with a Hindu.
So anything that would be considered idolatry to Calvinists is going to be banned under their Protestant conception of Christian nationalism. It's just completely stupid.
Hindu God, you wouldn't have a procession of the Virgin.
So if this is the case, why do Roman Catholics team up with these guys for political purposes? Why do Roman Catholics team up with these guys if that's the case? Now, I don't know. I don't think Joel Webbon might not have the same opinion. He might have a softer opinion on this. But this is always the fear when it comes to Protestant Christian nationalism. It just ends up being worse persecution for us. All right, so here's the podcast. This is on PBD. This is Christians Need to Seize Power. This is Joel Webbon. So we'll be reacting to this in just a moment. But let me catch up on some of these super chats here. If you go to Israel, just please don't book the Ridvan package. Apparently, it's a bit sus. Yeah, I saw. Did you guys see the interview that he did with? I don't know why is his name blanking. Why am I blanking on his name? Help me. Somebody save me. The bald Jewish gentleman that comes on my show all the time. Why am I blanking on his name? Anyway, he just had an interesting interview on yes, Ash. Thank God. Ash. Yes. He just did an interview with Ash, and I thought that was pretty interesting. But he revealed a lot of really weird details. He was like, the reason I became Christian is because I love the Jews so much, and I read Paul, and Paul really loves Jews. That's why he said he became Christian. It's very strange. Islam and Roman Catholicism share a critical weakness. They worship the same God. That's the same comment I left on his Instagram reel, by the way. That was the same exact comment I left. Great minds. Great minds. Great minds think alike. Romans, Orthodox ain't true with no pope. Turns and venerates Pachamama. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, the Orthodox, they don't got no pope. So now we got to worship the Hindu gods. I could tell Cleve is very hurt about Ish. Yeah, he hurt my fifis, dude. And you don't ever hurt Cleve's fifis. If you hurt my fifis, then I'm going to tell my mommy on you, and you're not going to like it very much. That's what's going to happen. And you're not going to like it much at all. So for him, salvation's actually purely works-based, just Christ's. Because he upheld the entire law according to his paradigm. Also, I wonder what he thinks grace is. For EO, it's God's operations in the world. Right. I would be curious to see his perspective on that. Yeah. The bald Jew on your show all the time, I think his name is Cleve. No, it's over, dude. The bald Jew. I'm now the bald Jew. I'm not even Jewish. I'm not even Jewish. How dare you? How dare you? Oh, I did see this. Somebody sent me. Did you guys see the latest lineup? Speaking of Israel. Speaking of my favorite country in the entire world. It pays me $7,000 every time I scream, "We love Israel." They had a very interesting lineup at Liberty University. Did you guys see this? This was so they have in October Erica Kirk and then Ruslan right after. I need seven figures. I need seven figures. Right after Erica Kirk, you got Ruslan. I thought that was pretty funny. Somebody said that to me. Submit to Pachamama. So true. Yeah, what a lineup. What a lineup. W Israel. Israel's going to be glorified in this lineup right here, dude. So based, dude. So based. That's right. Oh, yeah. Ruslan monetize. How do I monetize these people, dude? He monetized Liberty University. That's right. That's right. Nose to bald tiquity. That's a good one. Or bald quity. Now I like bald tiquity better. Your new Jewish name. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. If I angle the camera down, my nose could look pretty big. So I think that'd be pretty good. I think that would be pretty cool. All right, let's get back into the Peanut Butter Deli podcast.
Transitions happened in
Peanut Butter Deli. Oh. Peanut Butter Deli. All right, so we got Joel Webstein. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to make fun of him. I actually like Joel Webbon. I think he's pretty neat. I think he's a pretty neat fella. So I'm not going to make fun of him. I won't do it. It's not going to happen. But we are going to watch his take on "We only want Christians in power."
This is the last shining beacon, the city on a hill of freedom. If we lose America, where are we going to go?
Okay, so you said you want power. What do you want to do with that power?
We do not have to wait for the next George Whitfield or Jonathan Edwards to change before.
Skipping the intro.
Except to come to your church.
Mainly black people.
Dog.
Or that gets you in trouble sometimes.
Sure. Yeah. Well, first, thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. Honor.
He dresses like a vampire. Can I pull up TikTok on here? There was a freaking talking about vampires. There was a freaking TikToker that was so funny. What the heck was his name? I got to show you. This has absolutely nothing to do with the show, but it was like the funniest Skyrim meme ever. Hold on. You guys are a captive audience. So I got to show you this really stupid stuff that I watch. Hold on. Where it at though? Here you go.
On Molag Bal, I can't even lie. One of my favorite things to do during battle is to watch the expression on a Nord's face as I'm about to land the killing blow. He closes his eyes, takes a deep breath in relief. Sovngarde awaits him. Except something's wrong. That black soul gem in my pocket has different plans. You're headed to the soul cairn, pal. You're going to serve the ideal masters for an eternity.
This guy's hilarious, dude. This guy has really funny friggin' Skyrim memes. Where was that one? He was like, Vampire Batty invited me over or something. Where's the one? It was so freaking funny, dude. This dude is hilarious. Hold on. I gotta find it. Oh, here it is.
Yo, I was talking to this bitch on Mingle Helm. She told me, pull up. I said, bet. Drop the Addy. Sure as bone, she sent me the address to Castle Volkahar. I said, girl, you a vampire. You ain't fooling nobody. I'm staying my ass at home. On Talos. Yo, I was talking to this bitch.
So stupid. The comments are like, you're a vampire, dude. We know you freaking went. We know you went, dude. I don't know why. I thought this was hilarious. It's so stupid. It's so stupid, dude. All right. Back to this. Very serious.
Yeah, so I just turned 40 years old, and I feel it in my bones. I feel like I'm.
Do you really?
I feel like I'm getting older. Yeah. So I've actually made some changes. By God's grace, in the last few months, I lost 30 pounds, and so like
Really?
So in some ways, I feel better because I'm more disciplined. But I just recognize no.
All right, dog. Skip past weight loss.
Transitions happened in my 30s, where I began to just look at our country and realize it's never anything less than the Lord Jesus Christ, Reformation. Like, we need revival. It's revival or bust. We need hearts and minds changed by the power of the Holy Spirit through the preaching of the gospel, the Great Commission to go.
Someone said more Skyrim memes. All right, last one. Last Skyrim meme. This one was pretty good.
Hey, look, ever since I locked in with Molag Ball, I don't even see a lot of y'all as people anymore. A lot of you NWAs just be looking like my next meal, my next filled soul gem, or my next thrall. Hey, your choice. I'm Molagging him, bro. I'm Molagging him. Seriously, y'all still worshiping divines? Really? In the big fourth era, y'all still worshiping divines? Hey, I moved to the Daedric Prince of Domination. I don't know about y'all. Anyways, fuck you. Hey, look, ever since I locked in with...
So stupid. Y'all are either going to be my next thrall, my next meal. It's so stupid.
And make disciples of all the nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. It's preaching Christ, him crucified, his life, death, resurrection. It's nothing less than that. And that's one of the biggest, you asked me, like the controversies, one of the biggest criticisms I get is you've moved on from the gospel. It's not less than the gospel. But
yeah. Cleve's converting everyone to Molag Ball worship.
Is what I realized in my 30s is I realized you don't have to have, God may do it, and I pray that he does. You have to wear different hats. You have to think in categories. So as a father, as a husband, as a pastor, I'm doing the work of an evangelist. I'm seeking to make disciples. I'm preaching word and administering sacrament on the Lord's day. That's what I do in that realm as a pastor in the church. But here's the deal. I hope that God sends revival. I hope that 50% of the population of America plus one.
Dude, everybody's going to become Orthodox, bro. Nobody's becoming cringe Reformed Baptist. That's done. We had the Young, Restless, and Reformed movement. That lasted like 5-10 years. That's done. The performative, crying, what's his face? Who's that dude? Paul Washer? And I tell you, friends, he's like always crying. He's like, my friends, sin is bad. Don't you understand? Sin is bad. That's done. Nobody wants that. That's not real. It's fake. It's performative, dude. People are becoming Orthodoxy. They're becoming Orthodox. They're realizing, look, Protestantism has a major flaw. Roman Catholicism is falling further and further by the minute. The one semblance of sanity in this crumbling Western society is the Orthodox Church. So either get aboard the ark or drown in the flood. That's basically the options at this point.
Becomes regenerate and born again by the Spirit. But the mentality that so many Christians, well-meaning Christians, have, that is an absolute prerequisite in order to have a country, a functioning country, I think that premise is wrong. Japan is not 50% plus one regenerate Christians, and yet they still have some semblance of order. They have a country. So there are actually policies that can be implemented. And the thing that honestly convinced me is looking at the enemy's.
Yeah, Japan has nice policies. You know who's ruining that? The Roman Catholic Church. The Roman Catholic Church is literally trying to ruin Japan. We covered in the last Catholic news stream. They're like supporting and pushing LGBT inclusive agendas in Japan. This is what they're promoting. This is what the cardinals of the Roman Catholic Church are trying to do in Japan. It's disgusting.
Playbook. So when I think of LGBT, LMNOP, mafia, the Rainbow Jihad, when I look at them and their tactics, it's not like
supported by the Roman Catholic Church, dude.
They started with 75% of the population. They started with 3% of the population, and in 40 years, with a well-organized minority, were able to replace the American flag with a rainbow. Highly successful with a minority. What that proves, what Democrats have proved time and time and time again, is that you don't actually have to have a majority in order to implement ideas.
Hold on, I got super chats I got to look at. Cleve, I got to watch that. Thank you. Always looking for Skyrim memes. Also, my favorite memes of TES are Dago the edits. Nice. Look up Molag Ball calls evangelical hotline. What the heck is that? Molag Ball calls evangelical hotline. What the heck is that? Is it long? Oh, here you go. Molag Ball calls. What the heck is this? All right, this is what we're doing again.
How may I help you?
You bend to me.
What?
You pledge your soul to me.
Oh, I rebuke you. I'm a child of the Most High King. You.
Oh, I don't like this. They got the Jesus smoking weed cringe atheist crap. Cringe, not funny. No, I don't like that at all. I don't like that one bit. I need a palate cleanser. Let's see.
See, this is what I've been trying to tell y'all. 1 bump of sleeping tree sap and 7 Blackbriar reserves, and them farmers start to look like snow elves again.
It's so stupid, dude. This guy, like every single post that gets motion on this guy's channel is actually pretty freaking funny. Hold on.
Hey, look, as a Red Guard man, I'ma just come clean. I followed that Moon Sugar Trail and caught myself some Khajiit tail a few too many times than I care to admit. And I know I'm not alone. We all been there.
Gross. This guy actually have other fun. Oh, this one was funny.
How about a heavy coin purse? How about a dagger spanning 8 inches in thick? How about a master in the arcane arts? How about a man who honors his oaths and praises Malakath? I buried my shield maiden but 10 weeks past. 21 winters she stood beside me. I laid my young daughter to rest. She had seen but only 13 winters, and by her 12th she could outrun even me. And I've crossed from Rift into Markarth faster than a Khajiit reaches for a septum. My testimony, I'm nothing but pure, and I ask you to give me an honorable death, but you'd rather fight dragons. How about...
Yeah, this guy's hilarious. This is if you want to go follow this dude, William Maxer. He's only got 16,000 followers on TikTok. Can you believe that? The dude's only got 16,000 followers on TikTok. This guy's hilarious, bro. All right, let me get back to my Joel Webbon slop. Let me get back to my slop. Okay? The revival is coming. It looks exactly like Orthodoxy. So true. W. All my noirs be posting up at Red Mountain sipping on some skooma and moon sugar. So true, dude. Freaking skooma maxing, dude. I'm gonna take me a little skooma sip before I watch some more Joel Webbon slop.
Okay, so go a little bit deeper there. So because of that, you're trying to use that same strategy of a minority idea to get to majority of Americans?
Yeah, I want power. Oh, that's terrible. That's it. Like, power is not a vice. neither is it a virtue. Power is a tool.
You want power.
Yeah, a hammer can build a house or it can
Right.
crush a man's skull.
Okay.
Power is not inherently evil or righteous.
Sure.
It's a tool. It depends who wields it. Is it for the glory of God and the good of his people, or is it with evil, sinister intentions? And when I say I, more broadly, and not just me, but I want Christians who love the Lord Jesus Christ to have power. And I think Christians have opted out of politics. They've opted out of culture.
And I think honestly, this is like a based idea in concept. The question that you get to is like, what is Christianity? What is Christianity? Is it Reformed Protestantism? Is it the Puritans chopping off the king's head, banning Christmas? Is it the ELCA pushing gay stuff? What is it? Well, you know what it actually is? It's Orthodoxy. So yes, I do want Orthodox Christian nationalism. I do want Christian national. I want it to be Orthodox. It can't be Protestant. You can't have some like vague, oh, well, like what if we just like agreed on the basics? The basics to these guys is we're going to tolerate you, but we're going to ban your icon processions. That's what Doug Wilson said. I'd be interested to see this flesh out. But granted, I think people that do this type of thing, they present a kind of milquetoast message at the beginning. And then it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse, which is why true Christian nationalism, I think, can only be done through an Orthodox ethos and framework.
They've opted out of wealth. They've opted out of business. They've opted out of all these realms of power because they've been convinced that power is icky. And so in order to be spiritually pure, and to have a clear conscience before the Lord, not objectively, but subjectively, because they've been deceived, they actually think that they're doing a service to God by opting away from the halls of power. Part of this is their eschatology, right? That's a doctrine of the end times because of dispensationalism, premillennial dispensationalism. If Jesus is coming back next Thursday, then what's the point in running for office? What's the point in storing up generational wealth? But the Bible teaches a good man leaves an inheritance not only for his kids, but his grandkids. So I think all that back to what I was saying just a moment ago, I think that, yes, we want the majority of the population to be genuinely Christians because I don't just want a temporal blessing for my fellow Americans, but I want their eternal blessing.
When does PBD ask if Webbon's gone on a double date with Candace? Dude, after everybody went absolutely insane when I criticized Candace, I was kind of like, I'm kind of done talking about that topic. But I saw she said that lady that like killed her 3 kids, she was like supporting that chick. She was like, oh, I'm sympathetic to her. Did you see that? Did you guys see that? It's just freaking nuts, dude. Yo, what's up, Alex? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you, dude. Feel free. Hey, if you want to come up here and chill with me on cam, feel free. Yeah, you didn't see that? What is that baby killer's name? What is that lady baby killer's name? What is that chick's name? I really haven't been following the story too much because it makes me mad. Unironically, it makes me mad. What is that lady baby killer's name? Somebody tell me. In the chat, Lindsay something, Lindsay Clancy, is that her name? Lindsay Clancy, is that her name? That's what it was. Okay, yeah. Let me see if I find that statement. Candace, Lindsay Clancy. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Here's a clip. Here's the clip.
He was arrested the moment that it made the news. Lindsay Clancy is obviously not guilty. There are a fleet of doctors who should be.
She's obviously not guilty. This lady is obviously not guilty. I was thinking to myself, I'm just going to stop talking about this chick, but I figured I'd at least mention this. It's just insanity. Like, where is the line of delineation here?
Imprisoned for what they put her on. I regularly speak out against Big Pharma.
Yeah,
they get away with murder all the time. And in this case, they are getting away with the murder of really her 3 children, but also completely destroyed her life. When Lindsay Clancy, in my opinion, is not guilty. She was put into an intentional psychosis when she probably just needed to give her kids away for a weekend.
She's not guilty because she was put into an intentional psychosis.
Get better, but they constantly give you these drugs that do not make things better. And the cocktail of 10 pharmaceuticals that she was on is absolute madness. Absolute madness.
Yeah, it's just nuts. She is obviously not guilty. I mean, it's just demonic, dude. It's just demonic. Where was the other thing? What was the other thing she said? I want the power to have people like Lindsay Clancy locked up for life. Locked up for life? I don't know. I don't know if I would support that. I think for murderers, you just gotta like give them the chair, dude. That's my opinion, or something. Why do we pay all of our tax money to keep people who unalive children around? I don't get that. Catholicism and Protestantism have been the majority denomination in the United States for the longest, and yet here we are. Right. The Avoiding Babylon guys pointed out Candy's audience is mostly true crime. Yes, exactly. And now it all makes sense. Bored women seeking excitement. Yes. And you've got women who are Orthodox catechumens trying to dox me for talking out about Candace. It's just so stupid. It's the wine moms. They're in like crazy. They're crazy people. If you really want to laugh hard, watch Dagoth remarks on the races of Tamriel. What? All right. I guess we're doing this. The last one was cringe. The calling the religious hotlines was cringe. But let's see this. Dagoth on races of Tamriel. Hold on. Oh, it's long. Well, there's multiple of them. And it's kind of long. What about this one? This one's 5 minutes.
Yeah, okay, I guess we're starting with these guys. High elves practice inbreeding to maintain their ancestral features, so bear that lack of genetic diversity in mind when you hear them talk down to inferior races. Still, they have an impressive aptitude for magic, and their contribution to the rapid decline of the Empire is nothing short of commendable. So if you want to cast some powerful spells, and you don't mind having a nauseating profile on Ancestry.com, you'd probably fit right in with the Altmer, moving right along. Argonians. Rather misguided to categorize these reptilian creatures as people. But that error of taxonomic classification aside, Argonians are perfectly suited to hard labor, specifically in eastern Tamrielic climates. Do bear in mind that they can breathe underwater, which makes them particularly difficult to catch when pursuing them through marshy or aquatic environments. But with proper discipline and training.
Y'all like this? Y'all want to watch this, or should I move on? Y'all want to watch this, or should I move on? Y'all let me know. I'll let the audience decide. Should I move on? Should I move on? Say yes if I should move on, or no if I should stay and play this.
Even a low-level Argonian can make an excellent property investment character. I meant character. Moving on.
I'm getting kind of bored. Yeah, move on. Move on. Move on. I don't remember which one I said was yes or no. These people are saying stay. Yeah, the humor isn't hard enough. I agree. It's kind of dry. It's not the funniest. It's not the funniest. It doesn't stack up to the GOAT. It doesn't stack up to the GOAT.
Send this video to a shield brother who you would love to share this bottle of skooma with, or that you would sacrifice to the Daedric Prince of Deceit, Boethia, and don't tell him which one.
This is so stupid. I gotta find another one. Hold on.
You can't resist.
Hold on, wait. This one was good.
You can't complain about Dunmer poverty while buying imported imperial wine once a week. But look, We can't be calling everybody we disagree with an NY and then be surprised when they want to outcast us from their holes. I don't hate Nords, but I love the Dunmer. I love my people. Those two things can be true simultaneously. And listen, Sarah, once you start sharing a tavern with a Nord, next thing you know, they're banning the worship of Azura in the hold. And we wonder why there's an erosion of Dunmer culture and values when the whole time we're sending our children to learn under an imperial curriculum in school.
All right. Back to my Joel Webbon slop. Back to my slop. If Lindsay Clancy's not guilty, neither is Crispin Wall. Yeah, for real. That is a good comparison. That's a good comparison. The crazy WWE guy that unalived his family. I really do think, I think we're just living through a demonic delusion right now. The whole Candace Owens situation, all of this, to me personally, it doesn't seem natural. It just seems like a mass demonic delusion. That's what it seems like to me. I mean, this woman's obviously insane. I don't understand why anyone would follow her. I get it. Well, I do get it. It's the wives. It's the wives and their submissive husbands. I don't know how to tell them no. They shouldn't spend all their days sitting around watching Dexter and True Crime Wine Mom podcasts. When, I mean, this lady, if you don't know, this was literally the kind of stuff that she was sharing earlier. This was back in the day when Sneeko and Nick were still friends. They were commenting on Candace's insanity.
Was that true? She said that something about time travel?
She said that Charlie Kirk is a time traveler.
No, she didn't.
She did.
Nah.
Dude, it is so crazy now. It got so much crazier in the past week. I didn't believe it. I see a clip from her show on Monday. She says, you know, her and Charlie Kirk have this text exchange where she says, I feel like an alien. And he goes, and I'm a time traveler. Now, he's obviously.
Uh-oh. Hold on. I didn't mean to stop sharing. Hold on. Womp womp. I pressed the wrong button. I pressed the wrong button.
Would he tell me he's a time traveler if he literally isn't one? So she starts making the case that he can see the future because of ancient technology.
Here, I want to go to the clip.
Yeah.
Hold on. I want to go to the clip. Come on. Why is it? Oh, my goodness, bro.
That's why he had to go.
No, I think that's taken out of context.
No, dude, no.
He said, as I showed you in earlier messages, he was a time traveler and he had to find me. Is that just something people are saying to their homies in text messages? It is an absolute fact.
That's AI.
That's real, bro.
Cap. Not my go.
Is that something you would just say to your homies?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, idiot.
Nah, she's trolling, guys.
Charlie Kirk, he was a time traveler.
Candace Owens.
It's literally the crap this lady's pushing. All right. Back to Mr. Webbon.
Want them just to have 80 years of prosperity and peace and then go to hell. So yeah, it's never.
Let me answer the super chats real quick. Candace's modern day Nancy Grace. Khajiit love money, banished from the cities, and they come to the land of Isilware, rearrange the letters, and you can spell. Sounds like Israel. Khajiit equals Jews confirmed. Nice. But Cleve, I had a Candace dream. The woman never murdered her kids. It was time traveling Kirk giving her Fent from the Fent reactor from This is what actually happened. I believe this. This is what I need to do. I need to start a channel that has nothing to do with orthodoxy and just a freaking conspiracy slop and come up with the most like retarded conspiracies possible. I think that'd be great. Macho Man, Skyrim Dragon, or Thomas the Train vids? I don't know.
Less than the gospel. But it must be more than just the gospel. And it's not all intertwined. We have to think in categories. So the church, as a private Christian man, sharing the gospel with my neighbor. As a pastor, preaching the gospel from the pulpit. But I'm not only a pastor. I'm never less, but I'm not only a pastor. So I'm also a citizen of the United States with a political obligation. And in that,
I like that grift to conspiracy would be based. That would be a base. That would be a base YouTube channel.
realm, I'm still a Christian. That follows me wherever I am. But a Christian in politics is different than a Christian in the pulpit. And so when I'm thinking politically, when I'm thinking culturally, nationally, I want to fully recognize and convince other Christians that we do not have to wait. Maybe God sends revival, but we do not have to wait for the next George Whitfield.
I'm skipping to the case for blasphemy laws.
What do you want to do with?
So he's talking about blasphemy laws. I think the slippery slope with this would be, from their perspective, they would say processions of icons would be blasphemy, would be idolatry, like we just saw Douglas Wilson saying.
That power.
I want.
How do you want to use that power?
I want Christian laws,
such as.
Well, I mean, I have my wish list.
Tell us
my top tier.
This week in Catholic news makes me want to be reborn as the Dragonborn and save Tamriel. So true. So true. I should just do a Skyrim gaming stream one of these days. I should do that. But the problem is the last time I tried to stream from the laptop, it was kind of wonk. So maybe I just get like a capture card for my Xbox and do it that way. Maybe I could do that as a members thing. I don't know. We'll see.
I think there should be blasphemy laws. So free speech. I think that free speech is wonderful and terrible at the same time. Both. Absolute free speech, I don't believe was the real intention of the founders, right? If we're going to get back to the Constitution as a set document, you have to get back to authorial intent. And even looking at the First Amendment, you have to read it in the context of those who wrote it, the way that they perceived what they were writing at the time that it was written. The idea of absolute free speech, that you can say, that you can blaspheme the Lord Jesus Christ publicly. And
is your main concern blasphemy of Lord Jesus Christ?
Yeah, Alex, you got to stop. You got to stop saying. Oh my G Willikers on your show, or else Joel Webbon's going to put you to death.
That's
Yes. Yes.
So you're okay if I say the N word?
The N word should not have laws against it.
So meaning it's okay to say
me
that.
personally, I don't use that word.
No, I know you don't, but you don't have a. So the specific part about blasphemy to you is if I say God, you have a problem with that. If I say anything about, okay.
That's
all
right.
right.
Well, if I can explain that real quick, here's a simple explanation. There should be a distinction, because the Bible makes a distinction between sins and crimes. So you get plastered drunk in your home, and at 3 a.m. you're dancing in your living room, listening to some degenerate rap naked.
What? He's like, you're dancing in your living room, listening to degenerate rap naked.
Sin.
It's a pretty good weekend for some people.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But that's a sin.
Yeah.
It's not a crime. So I don't want a police state. So I don't want coveting, right? It's the 10th commandment, thou shalt not covet. That's a sin. But even the Old Testament, Old Covenant Israel, it was a sin. It was never a crime. When is coveting?
Look, you just sitting there, you're listening to that hippity hop music, booty butt naked, all oiled up. I don't want to do anything about that. I want to that's like Joel Webbon's like, I don't want to do nothing about that. Look, I want more. I don't want to police that. Look, call me crazy. I don't want to police you listening to rap in your living room, butt naked, oiled up. I don't think that's a problem.
Punished by the state. Well, it's actually a simple answer. Coveting shifts from the realm of mere sin into the realm of being both sin and crime the moment that coveting overflows into theft. Murder. I covet, and therefore I'm acting upon it and stealing. Or I covet, you have something I want, and I'm now going to act on it with murder. And I'm going to kill you and take it. Well, now it's a crime. So same kind of thing. So idolatry, the first commandment, have no other gods before me. I don't want a police state that's going into people's private homes and rounding them up for not being Christians, right? Whether it be Muslims or Jews or whatever. At the same time, outside of Houston, in my home state, there is a 90-foot tall abomination, a Hindu statue. I think that should actually be a crime. It should not be allowed in America. Why? Because we love America.
Yeah, that is a weird thing to say. He was saying, he was like comparing it to covetousness. Like, I covet you being naked, dancing in the living room. That is a strange statement. I know it's not how he meant it, but it is really funny. I'm going to pretend that's exactly how he meant it.
And we want it to be blessed. And God does not bless public, overt displays of idolatry.
This guy right here?
Yeah, that's it.
And that's right outside of Houston?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what would you want to...
This exactly, Giovanni. Protestants cannot define blasphemy. They would attack. Yes, they would persecute us. Christian nationalism under Protestant leadership if it is the way that they are like defining it here, and they're implementing these blasphemy laws, it would absolutely work against us 100%. That's just how it would be. This is why Christian nationalism cannot work under Roman Catholicism or under Protestantism. Under Roman Catholicism, guess what? You're going to have much worse issues than we're facing under the neocons, because they literally are an NGO that work for the United Nations. It is what it is. Protestantism, you're running into the Puritan problem. Either way you slice it, it has to be an Orthodox. It has to be Orthodox Christian nationalism. It's the only way it would work.
See the punishment of blasphemy be if you had the power?
Yeah. So biblically, this is really important for people to understand, because a lot of, your Reddit atheist, is going to be like, well, the Bible says, and they don't understand the Bible. They don't understand the Bible. So first, biblical law in the Old Testament breaks up into 3 categories. There's the moral law, which is binding and immutable. Immutable means unchanging, right? So it was wrong to murder. I am satisfied. It's enough. So ceremonial law, that's done. Moral law, that's immutable, unchanging. It's still.
Dude, I don't care about your.
So 3 different branches of law. Moral, that's eternal.
Oh, come on, bro.
I see that as not mandated, but permissible, as it's the highest penalty that could be inflicted. So like in the state of Texas, you'll see signs, don't mess with Texas, which, by the way, Texas has fallen. You can absolutely mess with Texas, but don't mess with Texas. If you litter, it can be punished up to whatever, 2 years in jail or a $5,000. I don't know anybody doing hard.
All right. I'm going to skip this part where he's saying, he's talking about the Mosaic law, because I guess he does that for an entire section of this. I'm going to go into his interracial marriage. I'm going to go into his interracial marriage part here, because they're pretty funny with the performative contradictions. What's wrong with the rig you're streaming on right now? Skyrim Anniversary is pretty low spec and optimized well. Well, the last time I tried to stream on here, it didn't do so good. I tried to stream Marvel Rivals, and it was spurging on me. But I think it's because I was trying to use StreamYard, not OBS. So maybe if I tried it on OBS, I would have to do it for members first, because if it was lagging, that would suck. But I did buy my wife a pretty nice PC. I could go stream in her setup. I bought her a nice PC to do streaming, and she never ended up streaming on it. But she's got a bunch of girl stuff in the background. She's got girl stuff. And I'm not a girl. So I don't want to do that. Dude's got that Vegeta Widow's Peak going on. Dude, I would put someone in a crystal to have his hairline right now. Dude, I'm cooked, bro. I'm freaking beyond cooked. I would put someone in a crystal to have his hairline. Doug Wilson wants to be American Cromwell. Yes, exactly. Father Stephen stated why Orthodox should not support these Christian nationalists. Yes, well, it sounds like he had the same take I had. It seems pretty obvious. It seems pretty obvious.
Tell me why your challenges with interracial marriage.
Yeah, so this is what happened. This is the lore, the story. There's a woman. All right, that's how every story starts. There's a woman. That's how the book of Genesis starts. There was a woman. Anyways, all right, the point is, there's a woman who kind of incessantly follows me online. She's got like 80,000 followers, something like that. So it's not just like, somebody with 47 followers or whatever. And she kind of, I would say, a couple times a week. Lately, I think she's backed off, and I praise God for that. And I hope I'm not stirring it up again. God bless her. I don't have ill will towards her. I don't hate her or anything like that. I think she's a Christian. I think she's confused about some things. But anyways, so she's just kind of pestering me. Anything I say, she's retweeting it and saying, Joel's terrible and this is bad for this reason or whatever. So there's another guy. He posts under Christian nationalism. This is the post. Interracial marriage will be punishable by death. I do not post that. I don't believe that. Some other guy posts that. Has nothing to do with me.
Pure LARP. Pure LARP. Interracial marriage will be punishable by death. You're going to have to, look, you're going to have to pry my Latina queen from my cold, dead hands. If you want to separate me from my Latinas, you're going to have to pry them from my cold, dead hands. Okay? Just try it. Just try it. You'll never get me away from my Latina queen.
Never spoken to this guy. I don't know this guy. I'm not going to name him because I don't want to do the performative denouncements. I don't think that's helpful. But he posts this, and then somebody retweets him, a pastor, and says, Elon Musk, can you make an exception on this one post and show us who likes it? Because it's Twitter, after all. So that post gets thousands of likes. Thousands of people come out and like this, provocative, extreme post. And And so this pastor, another guy, he says, Elon shows who liked this post. And then this woman, back to her, she comments and says, well, for sure, Joel Webbon. And I just, I probably let her get the better of me. I probably should just left it alone. But in a moment of weakness, despite my better judgment, I'm like, that's it. This woman's been pestering me for about 2 years at that point. And so I come out and I say, nope, just one word, nope. I didn't like it. I don't agree with that. And then she responds and says, tell us right now, are you for only false dichotomy, in my opinion? And I shown it, it's a trap, and I fell for it, and that's on me. But she says, are you for or against? Only two options. For, that is encouraging, promoting, that's how I read that, or against, right? Discouraging interracial marriage. And so I give a long write-up. Now I started pretty snarky. And so a lot of people didn't even get past my first sentence. Again, that's on me. I started by saying, this is a perfect example of
he's ruminating. He's ruminating on like X drama. This is why X sucks. This is why X sucks. X will literally drive you insane. Notice, like, he knows the entire play-by-play of whatever X drama he's in. Isn't that wild? Like going on like a massive podcast and it was like, well, then I tweeted this and then I ratioed her. And then she was asking me this and I got mad and I was like, you know what? Quiet, Floyd. Like he's like walking through the X drama step by step.
The average woman on social media is retarded. I think that's how I started. Okay. Now, I actually stand by that, but I don't think I should have written it. And just to clarify that, I don't believe the
Father Ron, Ben, please do not do your hair like this. What do you mean? I can't have the Dracula haircut, dude? I can't have the Dracula haircut. I think that's based.
Average woman is retarded.
I'll start wearing my collar like this, like up, like a vampire. There you go.
Average woman on social media. And I'm not talking about your grandma with 60 followers on Facebook who's just keeping up with pictures of the grandkids. When I say on social media, what I meant by that, I could have done a better job or just
dog, this is I'm gonna skip past and see if he actually gets to something interesting.
Heaven will be diverse. I think that's good, right? Because if I live next to a bunch of black people in heaven, well, the black people in heaven won't be trying to steal my kids' bikes, right? These are redeemed black people. It's heaven. There is no more sin. Mm-hmm. It's great. It's great. I look forward to meeting my brothers and sisters from the Sudan or from Ghana or in heaven. However,
not on earth.
Well, some of them, sure, I wouldn't mind meeting them in their country, but I don't want them all to come and live here. Right? I believe.
So what do you do with that? That's already happened.
Yeah, it's already happened.
So the challenge then becomes the founding fathers created it in a way where that ended up happening, whether they pictured that happening or not. They allowed certain people to win elections who maybe allowed for immigration to open up a little bit. So now we're here.
It opened up a lot. It opened up a ton. It opened up in it like an absolute invasion, especially like the Muslim takeover.
Yes. Your ideas of what you want to do, how do you do that when you're already here? Do you go find a small town and live in and grow it, and build it up where it's the way you want it to be? Do you go live in the boonies a little bit away from everybody?
Yeah, like 200 to 250.
Okay, so let's just say I come to your church this Sunday. What will I see there? Will it be 100% Caucasian? Will it be okay?
But if he's kicking out every single black dude. Get out of my church! What are you doing here? I mean, what a interesting. That is a very interesting question. I don't think that's what he's doing, but
praise God.
No,
there's nothing wrong with it.
I don't really.
But no, it's not.
It's not. Okay. So would the idea for you be long term?
No, it's not. It's not 100% Caucasian. We got. Yeah. Anyway,
to impose, to have power. So the only way you can really have, and when I talked to the president, and I told him who has more power, billionaires, these guys that do this, is it the Congress, is it Supreme Court, is it president? He says nobody has more power than president. Nobody. So is that eventually that for you to become a president and have power so you can change laws?
I don't think I would ever. Like, here's the deal, man. People. The most deceitful person in your life is you. So don't ever believe your own press. You know this. I'm never going to be. I wouldn't win. If I won 1% of the vote, that would be extraordinary. I'm not going to win. I mean, maybe the Overton window continues to shift and things change. Like, I'm not going to count it out. But you got to be realistic. That's a LARP. So no, I'm not going to. I'm not running for president.
So how do you get that power then? How do you get that level of power?
What I can do is I can influence people. So I'm not going to be president. It's not that I would never run. If I thought there was a chance, maybe I would. So I'm not saying I don't want to be president, but I'm a realist. But what I can do is by the power of God is I can use whatever influence I have to continue to influence young men. And one of them, one day, by the grace of God, might be president.
This is a freaking boring interview. Oh my goodness, bro. Yapping, dog. This is a boring interview. If Cleve Waba jacked Joel, he'd become Joel. Waba jacked? What the heck is a Waba jack? Am I a too boomer? Somebody needs to explain to me what a Waba jack is. What is a Waba jack? By the way, we hit the goal. W. Beautiful. Cleve, stream Hello Kitty Island Adventure. So true. Should just start gaming. Should just start freaking gaming. This sucks. This interview is AIDS. I do not like this interview at all. This is boring. This is extremely boring. I should just start playing. What do I even have? I should just start playing. That would lag me out. Sons of the Forest would lag me out like crazy. Project Zomboid. I suck at that game, but I could play it. That would be probably boring too. Did PBD ask Webbon about the time he bragged his wife and children can't even use the toilet without his... Did he really say that? No, he didn't. Did he really? Somebody send me that link. Did Joel Webbon say his wife and kids can't use the toilet without his permission? Sorry, you're just going to have to pee your pants. You want to go... Did I hear you right? You said you want to use my toilet? You better ask my permission. What was that? What's that meme? I'm trying to remember the meme. It was like the unforgivable meme. You better submit to my request. Last I checked, the Bible said there's no male or female, no Greek or Jew, but are all one in Christ Jesus. Are we sure he believes the same? Well, to be fair to Joel, he was saying like, oh, well, there's like saved black people. He just doesn't want the nation to be overrun by migrants. But granted, at the same time, then he's promoting his friend that is doing debates on did black people have black skin because they're cursed by God. So who knows? One more Cleve Steins. Yeah, we hit the goal. Appreciate you, dude. The number one interracial marriage is white men with W, dude. I would, you know what? I was telling my buddy over the phone. I was kind of trolling him a bit. And I was like, everybody was really mad when I did the Candace show. I should just alienate my entire audience and just push alienate like everyone. I should alienate my entire audience by just pushing like a 100% pro race mixing, but only with Latinas position. In my Christian nationalism, it is required. It is required for everybody to have a Latino wife. Like, just as like the most retarded troll. Good grief. Cleve, my Latina fiance. We're doing a Latina stream today. That's what we're doing. Cleve, my Latina fiance has decided to explore Orthodoxy. Any tips? Take her to well, actually, I think the better thing for you to do, go to a Vespers by yourself, make friends, make a married friend there so that you can go out to lunch or something with them, and then introduce your wife to, the married couple or whatever. So now when you take her for a divine liturgy, she's got a friend there. I think that actually does help. Women are very social. That's like the most basic, simple advice I can give. And don't debate your wife, dude. Don't debate your wife, bro. It doesn't work. So anyway. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. My entire audience would disown me. It would be a funny bit. It would be a super funny bit, but no, that would be a really retarded position to hold to. Cleve voted for Biden to open the border for more tortoise. Yeah, so true. That would be hilarious. And then voted for Trump to make it a state mandated wife to singles. Yeah, my geopolitics is more Latinas in America. That's like, I'm a one issue voter. It'd be so stupid. Good grief. All right, I don't know. Is there anything else fun in this Joel Webbon interview? This kind of looks like it sucks. Somebody said Christian Wagner is interviewing Jesus and whatnot. Precept your fiance. Yeah, there you go. Debate her, just debate her. She'll never get mad. Women would never be mad by you proving them wrong. It's just impossible. Women love it. Women love it when you debate them and you make them look stupid. They love this, actually. I think you should do it more. So if you want to win over your wife to orthodoxy, what you got to do is debate her big, epic Chungus style and make her look like an idiot. And then she'll respect you. She'll be, oh, wow. It always works, in my opinion. That's how it works. It's how it works, dude. You say, oh, you goober, dude. All right, I want to see what the heck.
Let everybody know we were intentionally 3 minutes late. We were completely ready for the stream. We just wanted to show you guys who's in charge around here. You subscribe.
Neighborhood. This morning, a woman scared me because I was walking out of my house. I was, all this like postpartum psych.
Yeah, you gotta score clips on your fiance.
Gonna call in. That's like the male voice that Lindsay Clancy heard. That in his mind, that's me right there. He hears my voice in his mind. So he's going to tweet and having his.
They're still talking about
Lindsay. And then Wagner, you made a very generous offer. I thought you would do a live fishing stream for us, which I was considering, having that.
All right, so now they're talking about the J. They're talking about the J situation. So let's see what they say. I'm gonna speed this up just a little bit because Wagner is a little bit of a yapper here.
Like split screen, so I could watch the.
Yeah, you younger guys, you're all like brain rotted, so you need like the little Subway Surfer play to be like the.
By the way, for those of you that are unfamiliar, Wagner was literally defending this guy's vision, this guy's dream, this guy's fake dream. He was defending this dude's fake dream as real on Twitter the other day. So, I mean, if that should tell you anything, the Roman Catholics are just completely spiritually deluded. They're just 100% spiritually deluded. Hold on, let me see. Where's his stupid dream?
When I went to sleep, and while I was sleeping, I had a dream. And the dream, I won't go into the details, was entirely in Latin. I saw all of these golden words flashing in front of my eyes, and there was a whole plot about, getting home to New Jerusalem. And when I woke up in the morning, I translated the Latin words, which is a language I didn't speak, by the way. So I couldn't have made this up in my dream. But I translated the Latin words, and it was talking about the intercession of the saints. And it was talking about how it was good. So I called my friend, and I said, hey, I need to become Catholic immediately.
So his dream, in which he has Latin fly in front of his eyes, a bunch of golden crap, and then he claims to somehow have remembered exactly the letters in the Latin. He wrote it down. He translated it with AI, and it said, intercession of the saints is actually based, and you got to become a Roman Catholic. The most idiotic, obvious lie. The most obvious lie. And who's defending him? Christian Wagner. I mean, this should be, I mean, what more proof do you need that these people are completely deluded? Even Dr. Taylor Marshall with his crazy milker's vision.
And I immediately discerned that this was Holy Mother of the Church. And there's sheets on her, and she was very sick. And I noticed that her breasts were engorged with milk, tons of milk. And there were babies and children crying out to her that were hungry, and she wanted to feed them, and she was upset. And then I thought to myself,
I saw her. She was Mother Church, and her breasts were engorged with milk. This is the vision that Dr. Taylor Marshall's having.
Oh, she's poisoned. She doesn't want to nurse the children. because then she'll give them the poison. And then there was this voice, it was like God or an angel, I don't know, and it said, no, the milk is still pure. And so I saw her there in all of her beauty, but so sick and struggling and loving those children, and seeing her, all that milk stored up there.
I just see all that milk stored up there. He says it so often. He's like just hyper focused on the milk. He's like, I saw her. She was engorged with milk, and she had all this milk, and it was just like there was so much milk. I mean, they're spiritually deluded. And this guy, they all, like, no matter how prim and proper they look, you got to realize this is what these people defend. They defend the schizoid visions, the schizoid dreams. Like, look, I get it. I get it. I had an experience. I don't hinge everything around that experience. And my experience was I smelled incense. Whoa, that's a big difference than an obvious, blatant lie and being deluded into thinking you were the chosen one because you saw a bunch of Latin fly in front of your face that you claim to remember and write down and translate using AI. People need some sort of discernment, dude. It's like, I mean, it's like, what are we doing here? Are we going to have like some other Roman Catholic dude that comes out and he says, I was praying for a sign and I started to levitate off the floor. And when I levitated, I touched the ceiling. And when I touched the ceiling, God came to me personally. He said, Timmy, you are the chosen one. You need to make an Instagram account and post slop. And I knew from that day on that you all had to send me 500 super chats immediately. Otherwise, you're disobeying God. But Cleve, you smelled incense, dude. You sniffed incense. W freaking incense, by the way. Billions will sniff. Like, I mean, come on, dude. We got to have a little bit of discernment.
The fishing screen in the corner while you're debating. You just sit there and watch it.
Yeah. No, but then after that, I was like, hey, Jay, you know what? How about we do a debate online? You can have live recording of my entire setup the whole time. You can check my ears.
Why are you still yapping about this? Didn't he offer you a remote debate? He did after this. He said, we'll do a remote debate. He even said he'll pay you like $2,000. So why are you still running? I offered you a debate. I said we could debate on Vatican II. Why aren't we debating, dude? Why are you running from all of these offers? You're doing literally everything except for debating. I will debate you right now, kid. I will debate you right now on who is more gay, the Roman Catholic Church or the PCUSA. I will take that debate prompt right now. Let's debate. Why are you still yapping about this nonsense, bro? It's so stupid.
During the debate so that you know that Wagner's not piping in on Cellar Audio. And then he said, how about you join my live right now? Put up 2 to 4K. I was like, what? What do you mean put up 2 to 4K? And then he went on his stream, starts talking about how he's not willing to debate for free anymore, and that he wants it to be an in-person debate.
So now he's trying to frame it. He's trying to frame it like Jay is trying to charge him money to debate because this guy is a serial liar. And that is not at all what happened. What he said was, oh, dude, what are you afraid to debate? Dude, I'll bet you. And then he offered to pay for his flight out if he was going to do an in-person thing and pay him to do the debate in person too. This kid is just a serial liar. I don't understand why anybody still trusts him after his, I mean, he's been proven to lie multiple different times. He said, I never said, what was that clip? He said, I never said I used AI in a debate. And you can literally check the clips. This guy used AI and admitted that he used AI in his debate with needgod.net. So he's just a serial liar.
And then I'll be as charitable as I possibly can. He did say in one of his messages that he would actually have me be paid to like be flown out and stuff. But then I was like, yeah, that's not why I debate. And then his conclusion is that I was somehow running away.
No, he's been corrected on this several times. He's running with the lie on purpose. This kid is a bad faith liar.
And so that's kind of like a brief synopsis of everything that's going on. But I figured that we would have Wagner on so that we could actually talk about, some of the epistemological.
Yeah, he's got like infinity alts.
claims that were made by Dyer in our quote unquote debate that we had. Because Wagner's way smarter than I am, and he actually understands, the big words. And I just say Latin as a way to LARP, and I just read it off of True.
Yeah, you didn't know he did that? You didn't know he did that? He literally admitted to it. Hold on. I have a clip. Hold on. Let me go back to my page real quick. Where's his admission to using AI? Cheat? AI, maybe? Oh, yeah, here you go. I'll play this for those of you that don't know. This was his admission to cheating and using AI and a fake quote in his debate with Need God.
Is not a video that I wanted to make. In fact, I have pushed off making this video for a long time, but it's been weighing down on my conscience and my path towards holiness so much that I finally gave in. Finally, I have the courage to step up and do the right thing. I apologize to all of you for how long this has taken me. But about 4 months ago, I believe, I had a debate with Ryan from needgod.net where I used a fake quote. Now, the quote wasn't actually fake, as I later found out. The quote was a mix-up from another quote that I had in my sources, and I accidentally put it into that slideshow. Now, the scholar who I misquoted, saying that he said this when really it was another scholar that said it, reached out, he called me out, and I made an apology video. And in that apology video, I told everyone that a friend had given me that quote, and that is where the mix-up came in. However, that was a lie. I received that quote from AI. That is the truth.
So I'm sorry, I lied. A friend did not give me that quote. It was a quote that I got from AI, which basically hallucinated the citation and said it was this other guy that said it. So, yeah, I mean, the guy is a known liar. He's admitted to lying, but not only did he admit to lying, here, he claims he never used AI in a debate. He says this later on. Where is that clip? I think Jay posted this. He said he was lying or something. Lying. Oh yeah. I gotta find the clip. I gotta hunt for the clips. I gotta hunt for the clips, man. I gotta hunt for the clips, man. Oh yeah. Where is the clip? Where is the clip? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I gotta find that clip. I'll just show you the thumbnail. So he says, proving Jay Dyer is a liar, responding to the allegations. And in this video, he basically says, I never used AI in a debate. Jay is lying. That's basically what he says in this video. Proving Jay Dyer is a liar. And God Logic liked this. Of course he did. Of course he did. All of the lying grifters have to stick together. All the lying grifters have to stick together. So, good grief.
Either ChatGPT or Wagner piping in on stellar audio.
True. I do it the LARP. Actually, I usually don't. I don't think that I ever, because what happened is when I was a young live streamer, back in the day, a few years ago when I started, I used to use a lot more Latin, but then people would make fun of my pronunciation, so I just stopped using it that much. But that's why I don't usually. It's purely a pride issue. I don't want to get made fun of for bad pronunciation. So, because you never know which pronunciation to use. Anyways. Yeah, what the reason why I wanted to come on here, I wrote an article actually earlier today on my Substack. And this is a reminder to all of you brain rot Zoomers out there who don't read a different issue that they feel more comfortable talking about. It's pretty common. They try to distract you off of the topic that they feel less comfortable with, and they want to talk about something they feel more comfortable with. famously, when it comes to this science of epistemology.
Oh my goodness, Wagner is a freaking yapper, bro. He's just yapping.
I can do what's called an internal critique. I can critique your system from the inside out on the basis of something that you already accept. Because any good debate, any good dispute between people, we're going to have shared principles from which the debate even proceeds. Because if, let's say, I'm arguing with a Mormon, and the Mormon goes and starts quoting the Book of Mormon to prove his religion against me, I can just say, well, I don't accept the Book of Mormon. And then there's not really anything that we can actually dispute over. No common
Even he's just like freaking playing a dial-up sound in his head the entire time.
ground. But if I'm talking with a Jew,
he is not listening at all.
And I say, hey, Jew, you accept the Old Testament. They're like, yeah, yeah, I accept the Old Testament. You go and they agree with the Old Testament, right? And I argue, well, Christ is Lord. It shows here, here, and here. Christ is obviously the Messiah. Here are all of these reasons.
Good grief. This is freaking boring, dude.
What they don't sort of realize is that actually the principle that they have about how they should approach religion, that is what is wrong. That's like the primary issue that they're running into is they're not really approaching religion correctly in the first place. And the sort of idea that you're going to be able to, that you are smart enough and you have enough time and you have enough resources to actually go through everything and sort of figure everything out in order to make a decision about, how to best glorify God, how best to love him, how to become a saint, and how to reach heaven. It's a stupid idea. It's a very dumb idea. And it's very destructive, and it will ruin your soul, and it will send you to hell long term. Like this is something which it throws at
dude. So much yap, bro. Oh my goodness. How does anybody watch this? It's just freaking yap slop. It's just like every like above 50-year-old construction worker that wants to start a YouTube channel yapping into the screen about nothing. It's just what this is like. Wagner's been doing too much fishing. That's what it is. He's been fishing too much. He's become a boomer yapper. Dog. Oh my goodness. Debate success, banned to couch. Now what? Yeah. Well, you can't leave his house, I guess, because he's got the Muslims after him. Western Christianity, Protestantism, and Catholicism is the foundation of the one world religion, the beasts of the sea and the earth. It's the mark of the beast. If I was Jay to debate Jesus and whatnot, I would have him shave his head because he seems like the type to go far and he might put a rat. That's right. He might have a little chef's. He does look like the Ratatouille guy. That is literally what he looks like. He looks like the Ratatouille guy. He could have a little rat up there giving him the answers. That's true. I'm going to need, look, Noah, if we ever do a debate on Vatican II, look, dude, I'm going to need you to give me a scalp cam. I need to know there's no rat up there giving you the answers, bro. I'm not going to debate you until you agree to a scalp cam. Okay? I got to be able to monitor the situation. If I see your scalp move, dude, I know you're cheating, bro. You're literally cheating, bro. I become an Orthodox catechumen because I'm lactose intolerant. Yeah, true. All the milk visions you have to endure as a Roman Catholic. Yo, what up, Cleve? I love the streams, bro. Well, thank you so much for supporting the show. Tactical Taco. Keep swinging by. Cleve, you should do a comb over with this. Crossover. Yeah, Wagner is he is comb over mogging right here. No widow's peak whatsoever. Just a complete circular comb over. His hairline is literally a U. It is a U shape. No widow's peak, nothing. Smooth. It's like a Lego piece. It's like, when you have the Lego comb over piece for the little Lego guys, that is exactly what that is.
On the very foundations of your ability to love God, if you think about, if you think in this way. So I think it's very evil. A lot of the ways in which these sort of online apologetics endeavors actually work.
You know why they're doing this? Because Jay challenged Wagner to a debate and he declined it. And he challenged this guy to a debate and they declined it. So they're licking their wounds. This is a wound licking stream.
Yeah, no, I think a great example of that.
And I don't understand, like I get it if you're going to decline it, but why keep crying about it? Oh, I know why he's crying about it. My little edit of his insane vision got 175,000 views. My little edit of his insane vision got 175,000 views on TikTok and Instagram, both platforms. So that's probably why he's mad. That's probably why he's mad. It's probably my fault. That's probably my fault he's doing this, because I posted that edit of his insane vision. And how many views did it get on Insta? It got a lot. Where can I even see that on desktop? Yeah, it got like 175,000 views.
It was the Brother Diamond debate. I forget who it was with. It was some SSPX dude before the excommunication.
Yeah.
But basically, Brother Diamond, he just goes through. And
Yeah, it did, dude. It friggin' blew up on both platforms. TikTok even more so.
A bunch of like wacky stuff that Pope Francis said,
Mhm.
and then you see all the comments. Like, again, I think the SSPX guy could have done way better. Don't get me wrong, but basically, Brother Diamond just throws a bunch of like doubt, like, "Oh, is this guy really the Pope?" Because he said some pretty crazy things this one time, and then all the comments are like, "Pope Francis has to be an anti-Pope. Pope
Yeah.
Francis, I'm converting to Sedevacantism," and it's like, no, that's not how you should approach anything ever. So I think that's a really good point. Also, speaking of the exact same topic, are we ever going to see the Brother Diamond debate?
The Brother Diamond debate? Debate with Brother Diamond, that would be interesting. I don't know.
I would love to watch that. The Diamond Brothers, they might be insane, but they are super entertaining. And they've got a really good series right now on all the gay churches in the Vatican II sect. In the Vatican II sect. Yeah, they're doing like a gay church expose right now. They would never debate. The last time, did you guys ever watch? Did y'all ever watch the Peter Diamond versus that Roman Catholic guy debate on Matt Fradd's show? That was total destruction. That wasn't even close. That was insane. That was probably one of the best debates I've ever seen. Back then, like performance wise, like, I mean, I definitely don't agree with his position, but he cooked the crap out of that guy.
What issue we would actually debate about, but
on Matt Fradd's show.
I don't debate in general, but I'm not like I don't exclude, I guess, debating anybody. Like, I would debate Jay Dyer if I felt that it would be fruitful and that it would fulfill and be necessary for or beneficial to like what I see as sort of my mission in life and the way in which I can best serve the church. Like, if I thought that there was an avenue for that would be beneficial towards doing this, like, yeah. The reason why this is my initial interactions.
So basically what he's saying is like, I would do a debate if I felt like I could really win. But since I don't think I can win, I'm not going to do a debate. Because edifying from his perspective is whatever makes Roman Catholicism look better.
With Jay were kind of funny because he wanted to debate a whole bunch of different issues. And I told him, like, look, dude, just make a video about it. If you're so confident in the arguments that you have, make a video about it, give your arguments.
Exactly, Alex. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Beneficial is whatever I won't lose.
And if I think that it's important enough for me to respond, then I'll respond to the arguments. Because I think what's a lot more fruitful is, and I get that a lot of people, they kind of like to watch it's sort of an entertainment for them to watch their favorite guys sort of discussing in real life and in real time. But I think what's actually ends up being a lot more fruitful is the ability to sit and to think and to study, research, and refine a lot of the arguments you have to be able to best present them, which is why in classical debate, and this is something that would never happen in the sort of online blood sports environment. In classical debate, you would write your opening statement, which would give all of your different arguments that you have for the topic. And then you would give your opening statement to your opponent, written beforehand, of all the arguments that you're going to give, so that each person is able to have a
So why don't you do that and accept the debate offer Jay gave you?
Thorough rebuttal. And basically what the middle portion of the debate, the cross-examinations and the discussions are supposed to be about is, I've given my arguments, you've given your arguments, we've refuted each other's arguments to the best of our abilities. Now we're going to talk about it. And what that actually sort of reveals is this reveals actually a very sort of profound understanding of...
Oh my goodness, Wagner, get to the freaking point, bro. Actually, why I won't do a debate is because back in the day, let me just tell you how it used to be. Back in the day, when I would do a debate, someone would come up to me and give me a little smooch on the cheek, and then they would put a little bit of oil in my hair and they would give me a head massage. I really like that. They don't do that anymore, so I won't do a debate. dude, get to the point, bro.
Only take debates now where I believe that there's a real opportunity to show absolute absurdity in the other position. Because I think that's the only way that you're actually really going to change people's minds. Like,
yeah. He's like, I only want to accept a debate that I think I can win. That's literally all they're saying. I will only accept a debate I think I can win. That's why they're ignoring David Uron. That's why they're ignoring Jay Dyer. That's why they're ignoring me on the topics that I've suggested. That's why they're ignoring all of these things. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Especially with like the ortho bros, like a lot of the Dyerites are just in a complete cult. Like Dyer could literally like murder someone in like broad daylight, and some of them will be like, "Well, it was just self-defense." So
That's
it's
aura. That's aura.
That's so weird.
That's aura. That's aura. That's awesome.
So
he has aura for that.
And it's like, yeah, like I mean, I get it. Dyer's a really smart dude. I think
That's aura. That's aura. He just totally blew that guy up. Freaking aura mogging, dude. Dude, he freaking mogged that guy, dude. Jay just mogged that guy.
he's had some great debates. He's proved a lot of great things. But like I did the Parker debate recently on atheism. Does God exist? And he ends up just like denying the principle of sufficient reason. And then he says, well, I don't have to provide an argument as to why I deny the principle of sufficient reason. I just don't accept it. And then it's like, that's
absurd. For that.
And I think that like there were comments, people saying like, wow, I don't think I can be atheist anymore because it's literally the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I'm like, yeah, that's what Paul says. So I think debates can be good, but I also totally respect the decision to just.
That's true. That's true. It's something we can all work on. Jay should just drink pus and diarrhea to show how holy he is. That's true. That's true. That's true.
Do debates.
Yeah. And like I said, we can't have Catholics completely remove themselves from public life just because of there's, retreatism due to the errors in the system. Like I see this a lot of times in politics. You'll get people who want to go and they want to start new political parties, or they want to, go and try to work outside of the system. And almost always these are failures. You're not going to get a third party in the United States based on Catholic principles. Like that's just not going to happen. You kind of have to work within the system and do the best that you can do and try to sanctify, the temporal sphere in that way. And just, keep to the principles of, Catholic social teaching and, Catholic moral principles as you're going about this. But anyways, that was a little bit of a tangent kind of on debating as such. I kind of want to get into the first principle question again, because I wrote the long Yap article about that, which all of you guys, again, this is your homework for the weekend. Okay. I'm refusing to live stream ever again. We have a pact never to live stream again until all of you guys read this article that I wrote. But anyways, basically when it comes to the idea of like a first principle,
still yapping. He yaps for another 20 minutes. Dog.
their science. They didn't really think about how they could be certain about their knowledge. They kind of just assumed all of it and didn't really, write about it a lot. And once Descartes and Kant came on the scene, and Hegel and, all of these different in philosophy, the academia, there was these sort of narratives that survived for a very long time. I actually do have a very robust tradition against skepticism that being at all in line.
Or even they very clearly explicate natural theology and this idea that we can naturally know things. You don't have to have some basis for the Trinity. And this is why people like Dyer have to say that, Moses.
What did he just say?
Videos and in his debates. And Jay just kind of ignores it. I really wish that I had seen an answer, because I don't think there is an answer. Because I would say, like Christ, Paul, Peter, even they very clearly explicate natural theology and this idea that we can naturally know things. You don't have to have some basis for the Trinity. And this is
what? You don't have to have some basis for the Trinity? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, these people. You don't have to have some basis for the Trinity. You're like William Lane Craig, dude. Oh my goodness. These are the champions of Roman Catholicism. You don't have to have some basis for the Trinity. Oh, there is no epistemology. Epistemology? What's that? What you talk about pistols for? I don't like epistemology. I don't need a basis for that. It just is what it is. It be what it be, dude. It's all self-evident. It's all self-evident. Just grant me self-evidence. Just grant me my entire paradigm. So stupid. Oh my goodness, bro. You don't realize that by holding that view, your entire debate with that Parker guy was pointless. If he doesn't need the same epistemological foundation that you use, you cannot use presuppositional apologetics against him. And that was your entire argument. You were trying to argue from first principles, dude. And you were saying he needs to accept your paradigm. Oh my goodness, bro. The state of freaking Zoomer apologetics. He is just aping Wagner's arguments and he doesn't actually understand them. He's parroting words that he thinks he knows what they mean. You don't need a foundation for the Trinity, bro. Oh my goodness. The state of slop apologetics, bro. No wonder in his call-in that he did with Jay, he said, I'll just grant you my whole worldview is wrong. He doesn't understand epistemology. Oh my goodness. I don't need a basis for the Trinity. I don't need a foundation to understand the Trinity.
Why people like Dyer have to say that, Moses and Abraham had a full conception of the Trinity.
Israel for that.
It's insane. Like
Israel for that.
They had a full conception of the Trinity. They were worshiping the... Oh my goodness. Dude. Noah, are you saying that you do not think the figures in the Old Testament were worshiping the Trinity? You think that they thought they were worshiping a Unitarian God? Is that really what you think? You need to read patristics, bro. You think the people in the Old Testament thought they were worshiping a Unitarian God? They were worshiping the Trinity, bro. This is the problem. It's literally in the icons. Oh my goodness, bro. It's literally in the icons. You're literally doing the Trent Horn argument that lost him the debate, where he said the triad is a pagan term. This is so slop, bro. This is such slop. They didn't know they were worshiping the Trinity. Actually, they were a little confused. They didn't know they were worshiping the Trinity. They thought they was just worshiping the Unitarian God, like a Jehovah's Witness. Or like a Muslim. A salami, I like them.
Yeah,
I believe this.
Oh, do you really?
I mean, I think they explicitly believed in the Trinity. I don't think that...
Wagner W! Wagner W! Put him in his place, boy. Put that youngin' in his place, Wagner. That's right. W's for Wagner. Look. I've always liked Wagner. I always liked him. I always knew he was a stand-up guy.
Fully fleshed out view would be the right way of putting it. Like
it's
like questionable that did they understand divine generation and the procession of the Spirit? Like probably not. I mean, they might have. Like blessed Moses was trained in all the wisdom of Egypt. Like he was a pretty smart dude. He might have come to the conclusion, but I think that he at least believed in the tri-personality of God, and that the teachers of Israel probably understood.
Like, please stop making me look stupid. He's like, I'm gonna betray you for this, Wagner. I'm already plotting my betrayal. You've made me look like a fool. I'm already plotting my betrayal of you, Wagner.
Well, to a greater or lesser degree. And over time, this probably developed into like a more explicit understanding up into like to prepare for the coming of the full revelation of the Trinity that came in the New Testament. But I think it would be erroneous just to like completely deny that there was an understanding of the Trinity among those in the Old Testament. But
that's interesting. I didn't expect you would take that stance. I would say, they could
the stance that's in the Bible, dude. The stance that's in the Bible and in the patristics, bro. That's interesting. I wouldn't think you would take that stance. Yeah, the biblical one.
Affirm some, relation within God. Possibly even
literally in Genesis at the where they're talking about the Tower of Babel, it says, let us go confuse their language. Who's the us? Who's the us, Noah? Who's the us in that situation? Whoa. Literally Trinity in Genesis, bro. It's all over.
three persons.
Who is in the Psalms? Who is God and who is his son?
But I don't want to misrepresent Jay. That's definitely not what I want to do. But I'm pretty sure he, like, the claims that he makes is that in order to believe in God at all, you have to have the foundation that we call the Trinity. And that's not just saying like, oh, there's relation and we can.
You just said you don't need you don't need a foundation to understand the Trinity or to believe in the Trinity. You just contradicted yourself in less than 5 minutes. Oh my goodness, bro. This guy stinks.
Say that there's three persons, but you would have to have, some sort of fully explicated view, maybe not, all the different fancy terms that we use, but you'd have to say there is a father who begets a son. And then what we would say is that the spirit is proceeding from both of them.
I think the better direction of going here would just be to kind of say what most of the tradition already says.
Here, be right back.
Because there are a lot of church fathers who comment on this problem specifically. But the better way of going about this would be like, okay, well, we kind of all agree, at least by us, I mean the scholastics and the church fathers. I don't know about the Orthodox, but we kind of already agree that at least the minor, the lessers, right? The ordinary folk in Israel who believed in God and worshiped God, that these ordinary folk did not explicitly believe in the Trinity. That would probably be the better way of going about it. Like, we can inquire about the priests and Moses and blessed Moses and blessed Abraham, but
I mean, even the pagans that Paul runs into, I think that's like an even stronger case. Like he says, no, you guys, even though you don't know jack squat about this God, like you're really calling the unknown God, you're still referencing the same God. Or you're still making a reference towards that God.
Yeah, even like what sort of has made me like what's so annoying about this is that when you go into the sort of first period of church history, like after the apostolic fathers, which they kind of wrote like they wrote exactly like how the authors of the New Testament wrote, like when you read Clement or Ignatius or Barnabas, pseudo Barnabas. I don't know if you think he's pseudo or not, but when you read these early authors, they write a lot like the authors of the New Testament. But the era after that, it's called the era of the apologists. And basically like St. Justin Martyr and Athenagoras and other authors of this sort.
All right, let me catch up on before he gets into another lecture where he's zoning out and he's looking like he's gonna die. Let me read some of these super chats. Everyone, debate Jay, Christian Wagner. Let me give you a history lesson on debates. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to do debate, but I'll tell you why I'm not going to do a debate, and I'll talk for 5 hours about why I'm not going to do a debate. Good grief. We should Pachamama like the Pope is. Yeah, we should all worship a pagan idol like the Pope. I think that would be pretty based, actually. I think that'd be pretty based, actually. Who would be worse to be stuck on an elevator with, Wagner or Lofton? Throwing yourself down the chute is not an option. I wouldn't mind. I feel like Wagner, when he's not doing his theology stuff, is actually pretty funny. I think Wagner is actually pretty funny. So I'd probably rather chill with Wagner than Lofton. I really don't have a lot against Lofton, though, but he does strike me as kind of a more boring guy to be around. And not for nothing, Lofton literally threatened to sue me back in the day, but we kind of hashed that out. And I forgive him. I forgive him for that. If Lofton needed something, I would be there for him. Poor guy. Wagner is the fat friend in an 80s teen comedy. That's true.
Their whole goal was to provide an apologetic for Christianity to the contemporary world in which they lived, and oftentimes in philosophical modes and expressions that were taken from the Peripatetic school, which broadly the followers of Aristotle.
Skipping past his lecture.
Like, actually, no, I can't demonstrate it. I just believe it. And I can, kind of explain why I believe it, but I can't prove it to you. And then they're like, oh, see, he can't even prove like the basic things that he believes in. And it's like, yeah, maybe to random people, like this is a really good debate strategy, but.
Oh, so you mean you can't defend your presuppositions? That's kind of a problem, bro. That's not something you want to admit. He's literally saying he cannot defend his first principles. That's what he's admitting to. That's why he didn't want to talk about them, because you can't defend them.
Go watch.
That's why he said he was willing to grant his entire worldview is wrong.
Half of his debates, he doesn't prove anything. Like, there's not really any proving that goes on. It's just, well, I don't have to accept that. Well, you see, St. Maximus the Confessor and Mark of Ephesus, they.
Well, unfortunately, Lofton left Protestantism, and he was like an Orthodox catechumen, and then he left for Roman Catholicism. Now people are speculating that Michael Lofton is going to become a Muslim. I don't know how true that is, but I pray that isn't the case. For as much nonsense as me and Lofton have had in the past, I don't want anything bad to happen to the guy. If I would hate to see him further devolve into something worse. This is why when he reached out to me, because he contacted me a while ago, because there was a video that happened right after the Kirk incident, and Lofton made some statements. He said that isn't it ironic that Kirk got shot after advocating for like open gun policies or something? And I clipped it and I said, look, here is Lofton mocking the Kirk situation. And that video got a lot of views. But Lofton reached out to me. Well, first he threatened, he asked his audience to come mass report me. And he said, go mass report Cleve. He said this in a members video. And then he said he was going to sue me. He was going to sue me and Wagner. And it was actually Wagner that reached out that brought this to my attention. But shortly, so we were posting about that. I just kind of laughed at it because it's like a defamation suit. Like, what are you going to do? I dare you. I dare you to do it. Like, I dare you to try. I will put this on blast and it'll bring even more attention to it. But Lofton reached out privately and he was like, hey, like, this is actually really messing with me. Like, this is messing with my mental state. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, I'm not a monster. I'll take the video down. We're good, you know? So I don't know if, I don't have any animosity towards Lofton. I mostly just feel bad for him. And, I hope obviously for the sake of his soul, I hope he becomes Orthodox, but I definitely hope he doesn't just become a Muslim. That would suck. That would be bad. That would be bad for for him.
Actually, they actually believe exactly what I believe, and therefore I'm right. But I don't actually even believe that the saints have any evidential reasoning unless you interpret it the same way that I do. It's like, this is just complete nonsense. That's not how we have conversations with people.
Yeah, exactly. So do you want to kind of get into some of these chats from the chat?
Chats from the chat.
Or is there anything else that you wanted to kind of go into about this?
I mean,
'cause I can just talk about the epistemology stuff all night if you wanted me to.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. We could talk about our boy Cleve if you want. Maybe we could give him a little bit of a shout out here.
Dude, shout out to our boy Cleve to Antiquity.
Whoa, dude. W Clevester.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
We got him. W Cleve. Dude.
Dude, oh my goodness. I called him Cleve to Jay Dyer, and he was like, I can't believe he said that about me. It's like, oh.
That is not what you said. This kid is such a liar. Did you hear what he said? He said, I called him Cleve to Jay Dyer, and he said, how dare you say that is not what you said, you lying rat. Oh, I'm gonna freaking clip that and have a field day with this. I'm clipping this. So he says, oh, I said Cleve to Jay Dyer. That is not what you said, dude. You said zip up, or he said, wipe your mouth and zip up Jay's pants when you're done. That's what you said, you lying rat. That is literally what you said, you lying weasel. Oh my goodness, bro. What a blatant lie. This kid can't help it. He does it over and over and over again. Yes, he did say some zesty. He said, zip up Jay's pants and wipe your mouth when you're done. That's what he said. The kid is, oh my goodness, dude.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, it's sort of funny as you have these guys and they're supposed to be like comedians and blood sports debaters and like stuff like this. The moment
dude, I don't even care that he said that. It's just hypocritical when he wants to piety signal. That don't hurt my fifis. I mean, it shows that's what you think about, though. Always think about always think about the zesty stuff. You're retweeting AI pictures of you kissing your best friend on the lips. Always think about some zesty stuff.
You say something that's actually funny and not just like pretending to be gay and having bisexual lighting and dancing to music, like being cringe. The moment that you say actually something that's funny, all of a sudden they're like, that's not funny. That's not funny. They can't understand jokes either. I told Jay, I'm like, Jay, that's $6,000. Come on, dude. 25 grand in a fishing trip. And why don't we throw a game of online Risk in it? You know, no, my boy Noah and I, we're going to be on the same, we're teaming up. Ortho bros are not allowed to team up on the game of Risk. They're like, well, I see that you're running right now. It's like, dude, it was a joke. You literally follow a guy who was comedian in his bio. You cannot follow a joke. And then these blood sports debaters are supposed to be super tough. And they're supposed to be like, we don't care about how people see us. You know, we're super tough. They're never going to be able to understand us. They're so these piety LARPers, you know, quoting scripture and saying charity, you know, these piety LARPers. And then the moment you jab at them,
it's like friggin' Spurgeon, dude.
In a good natured way, and you say something like cleave to Jay Dyer, or you know, the million things that people have formed from cleave to antiquity. All of a sudden, why are you being so mean? Why are you being so rude to me?
When have I ever said that? When have I ever said that? I've literally never complained that you're mean and rude. I've never done that. I've literally never done that. It's so stupid. These guys just project a fake reality into their head. I don't care, dude. I think it's funny. Like, even when Wagner was like doing like a tongue-in-cheek, like, didn't you convert because you sniffed incense on X? I thought that was funny. Like, that was actually pretty good. That was a funny ratio. I don't care. Like, it's not that big of a deal. The only reason I even brought it up was because this kid was being hypocritical. He was like, Jay Dyer is so mean. Jay Dyer is so mean to me. And he's like a big bully. And you shouldn't bully me. And then in the same exact thread, he says, Cleve, when you're done down there, why don't you zip up Jay's pants and wipe your mouth? Like, that's gay. You're gay, dude. That's what you're doing. I don't care that you're mean. It doesn't hurt my feelings. I'm highlighting your hypocrisy because you are a liar. You're disingenuous, as are most piety signalers. They're lying. They're deceptive. They're actually the nastiest people you know.
Thought you were like a tough, ultra, you know, blood sports debater. All of a sudden, you're offended by the fact that I changed your name around a little bit. No, it's these people.
When have I ever done that? This is so retarded, dude. I literally don't care. I laugh on the show all the time about how it's funny. I like when people do that. Cleave to griftiquity, cleave to iniquity, cleave to balding, cleave to whatever else. What's a couple other good cleave to names? I say that all the time. That's one of my favorite things about my username is people can like swap it around and make it like really stupid.
Yeah, and not that it like messed with me at all, but like it's just funny because Jay he started calling me Jesus and chatbot, which you know what? Hey, kind of clever. That's funny. I thought that was a funny joke, but then it's just like if you say cleave
the BB
Jay Dyer, that's completely off the table.
What did Jay Dyer call? I don't think Jay Dyer's come up with a cool name for me. I'm kind of like offended by now. He just calls me Wagner.
I mean, there's a very clear joke that can be made with your name.
Cleave the Latinas. Cleave the chicharrones.
Change one
Dude,
letter.
I've heard this since childhood. Guys are not clever by calling me Fagner. Not funny. Okay.
You're begging for it.
He doesn't. That's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good. You can tell he actually was offended by that. He's pretty mad.
You're absolutely begging for it.
Okay, Jay, I will give you permission to say it. Okay, you don't have to keep being so nice. I know that I know that I'm very highly respected in the e-apologist community. You very highly respect me. But Jay, we can kind of let our hair down. You know, we can be chill with one another. That's totally fine. Like I can call you Gay Crier. I think that's pretty funny.
That's very
funny.
Good.
Call him Gay Crier. You can call me Fagner. I don't care. I do not care.
You definitely do care, dude.
It's totally fine. We can be friends with one another, Jay. We can be chill.
Yeah, I tried to be chill with him. He actually came up on the stream.
I like Wigner. Wigner's a good one. That's a funny one.
We had a very cordial discussion with one another. We agreed to a debate topic, but
are you actually going to debate him?
I was going to, and then he did all this switching around. Like Jay, hey, offer is still on the table. I promise. I swear before everyone here, I will not have Wagner call and unsell our audio. I will not be using.
I will do a fishing stream. Like I'm serious about doing a fishing stream. I will find a fishing spot because I live in North Dakota, so there's not a lot of good fishing spots with good cell receptivity. I will find a fishing spot with good receptivity.
Wigner's the best one.
just, even if it sucks and I don't catch anything because the spot sucks, like I will find one. I will literally go fishing and live stream the whole thing while the debate's happening.
No, the thing is with this
Wigner, why are you being so mean to me, dude? Wigner, why are you being so mean to me? You can't change my name around and call me Cleave to Farting. Wigner called me Cleave to Farting. I'm about to crash out on him, dude. I thought we were friends, buddy. I thought this was all tongue-in-cheek joking. But Wigner goes on here and he betrays me. He betrays me. And he says I'm offended when I'm not. Ultimate betrayal, Wigner. I'm coming for you, bud. I'm coming for you, pal. It's over. It's over. I mean, I honestly, though, I do think it's like, it is like performative, like sassy nonsense. Because this guy did like an entire hit video on me, and I commented on there like, oh, it was about the ranking thing I did with Ish a while ago. And he says, what are we doing here? Like, this is like stupid and cringe and whatever. And I commented something funny, like in a good joke. Like, I'm like, oh, just for that, Wagner, I'm like bumping you down to D tier. Like, we'll joke around, dude. You don't have to be so uptight. I don't take insults personally. Neither should you. It's okay. I promise it's going to be okay.
Debate. Like, I am 100% open. Jay Dyer, I will debate you on the Filioque. That will happen. I will debate you. We can do really, like, if you just want to have open dialogue with a moderator, we can do that on the Filioque.
Seethe to antiquity. So true.
But the thing that happened in the DMs, and you can kind of see this with some of the screenshots that got put out there. It started off, he agreed to do Filioque debate. And then after that, he wanted to do absolute divine simplicity and then Filioque. And then after that, he said, how about we just do a 4-hour conversation with all these topics? And so it seems like Jay, and again, I don't want to make any false assumptions, but it really does seem like he's just trying to find one topic where I'm not very strong on it. And then he's going to say that, like, that's the weak point. And then therefore we can't talk about absolute divine simplicity. We can't talk about the Filioque. And it kind of just seems, again, it kind of just seems like he's running, but you know, do whatever you want, Jay. You have no obligation to debate me. But it would be fun. I would enjoy a conversation on the Filioque with you.
Oh yeah. Also, I need to mention the Joe Schmid. Is it Schmid or Schmidt? I think it's Schmid.
I think it might just be Schmid.
Schmid. That's amazing. That was awesome. You guys.
Yeah, he's just a continuous lying machine, dude. By the way, Alex, I sent you a DM if you want to come up here and chill on stream. He's just a continuous lying machine. Yeah, the DMs that were put out there, the ones you leaked, dude.
You guys need to pray for him, okay? Because kind of coming into, the church with this sort of probably a lot of the work has already been done. Conversion had to do with a dream. Dude, you famously came out a year ago that your conversion had to do with smelling incense.
W incense, bro. W incense. So true. So true. The point wasn't the dream, dude. The point is that it is a performative lie. The point is that it is an obvious performative lie. I saw Latin flash in front of my face, and it was all gold. And I saw it was the Pope himself, and he came and he kissed me on my forehead, and he said, Noah, you're the chosen one to go forth. And he gave me superpowers. And I got a hot Latina girlfriend, and we're gonna defend Catholicism. No, it's a completely fake, lame lie. So obvious, dude. Extremely obvious. Everybody on freaking TikTok. Everybody on TikTok that doesn't already have like a bias against me because they don't really see my crap over there too often. But everybody that was commenting on that video was like, this is an obvious lie. Look, top 10 things that never happened. Israel comes to me in my dreams. 2.0 Charlie Kirk. Hey, I need to become Catholic immediately. This is why they're mad. This is why they're mad. Because this video got hundreds of thousands of views. And people could tell this was a complete performative LARP lie. This is the crap that, translated the Latin words he saw in his dream. Yeah. I had a dream Adolf Hitler was Spider-Man's wife. So I woke up and called my friend to tell him his mom is actually his sister. Nice. Good grief, dude. Yeah, but Cleve, didn't you sniff incense? I sure did, buddy. W incense. Smash that freaking like button right now. W incense. Spam it in the chat. Look, the Chad incense sniffer versus the virgin cringe chud dream haver of freaking Latin gold letters flying into your skull.
I'm not even like dunking on you for that. I'm just dunking on you for like the hypocrisy, the manifest hypocrisy with all of this.
Believe to hypocrisy. It's over, dude.
It's just like trying to dig up stuff to dunk on people and then being so shameless about it that you're dunking on yourself in the process. Like, do you have any self-respect? You knew that somebody was going to bring this up. Like, you had to have seen this coming.
Yeah.
Unless you're just like,
he's seething over it. Wagner is absolutely seething over it. Oh my goodness, bro. It is not that serious. He is seething. This is, you know what? I think I know what it is. This guy, Noah, he got his arguments from Wagner. I think I actually figured it out. The Noah guy actually got his arguments from Wagner. Wagner is his debate daddy. Wagner is his debate daddy. That's what it is. He freaking mentored this kid to try to make him the next big debate thing. And he sucked. And he doesn't like the negative press. He saw that the stuff got hundreds of thousands of views. So now he's sassy about it. That's the real problem. He's like, dang it. Dang it. My little 19-year-old baby boy that I fostered, I nurtured from a young age. I groomed him to be the next big Catholic apologist. You just had to go and find his cringe lie dream. You had to go, you filthy, stinking, evil Cleve. You had to go and find his cringe lie dream and make a epic compilation about it. How dare you, my little baby boy? You've spoiled him.
Profoundly unintelligent. You didn't see this coming. This is the most obvious response in the history of responses, is to go and to quote tweet that and say, dude, didn't you convert because you smelled incense? That should be the most obvious thing ever.
Yeah. You are sitting at 2.1K likes with 60,000 views. He has more views. He has 88,000 views with 219 likes. So it's just one of the most brutal.
Yeah, on X. On X, dude. Now go look at TikTok and look at Instagram. 200 something thousand views, 14,000 likes. Literally 14,000 likes on the cringe compilation of you making up the fakest lie in the world.
And while I was sleeping, I had a dream. And the dream, I won't go into the details, was entirely in Latin. I saw all of these golden words flashing in front of my eyes, and there was a whole plot about, getting home to New Jerusalem. And when I woke up in the morning, I translated the Latin words, which is a language I didn't speak, by the way. So I couldn't have made this up in my dream. But I translated the Latin words, and it was talking about the intercession of the saints. And it was talking about how it was good. So I called my friend, and I said, hey, I need to become Catholic immediately. Then I went.
They are so mad, dude. They are so mad. They are so mad. Dude, they are freaking seething, bro. Oh my god. Yeah, they're so slimy. They're so slimy. Oh, dude, you got ratioed on X. I don't care, dude. 200. This is why he's mad. 200 something thousand views on TikTok and Instagram, 14,000 likes. Almost 1,500 bookmarks, dude. That's people saving this to share with their friends over and over and over again. You got caught in the most obvious lie possible. It's so stupid.
Ratios in all of human existence, I would say.
We don't even want the ratios. If not.
You got to take it with a grain of salt. That's right. You just got to take it with a grain of salt. Like, look, yesterday I floated through my ceiling. And the popcorn ceiling, it grafted onto my skin, and I became like the Thing from the Fantastic Four. I became like the Thing, okay? I got superpowers for only 2 seconds, but take that with a grain of salt, though, because I don't know if that's real or if that's just like the mold in my walls driving me insane. So take it with a grain of salt, actually. But if you say this is fake, then you're my mortal enemy, and I have to destroy you. So, but take that with a grain of salt, though. Also,
10x. Okay, the normal ratio, the era of normal ratio is done. If the ratio isn't 10x, we don't want it. And I'm joking, guys. Okay, I'm being expressive and stuff. I'm just kidding around. Don't take me too seriously when I say this
He's just new boots goofing. He's just new boots goofing. It was a funny tweet.
stuff. Okay, I guess I will start on my side first. We'll do the back and forth again. You know, I have some friends coming over later, but I got plenty of time.
Turn on a light here.
What's up, my brothers?
You literally converted because incense came out of you. It was literally coming out of me. It was coming out of my mouth and my eyeballs. The incense was coming out of my freaking ears like I'm a Looney Tunes character.
How are we doing today? We spent the first 10 minutes talking about that, so you kind of wasted your super chat on that, but hello. Okay, your turn.
All right, hold on. Let me catch up on my super chats. I meant to say Pachamama maxing. Oh, so true, King. Pachamama maxing. Wagner looks like he wipes his butt with paper towels for the grit. That's a good way to clog up your toilet. Unless you're like an Indian and you just throw the toilet paper in the trash can. Did you know they do that? They literally will throw their dirty used toilet paper in the trash can. They don't even flush it. They're just jealous they don't have apostolic succession from the king of Wigzantium. So true. That's right. They need that apostolic succession. That's right, King. Don't be jealous, dude. You can have it too. You just got to become Orthodox. Wigner will be the founder, president of Pat Buchanan Impersonator Association with an annual Vegas convention. Very true. Very true, King. Oh, no. I think I just clicked the star on it. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, good. Oh, wait. All right, cool. The thing, you mean bald and bold? Very true. I don't know. I don't think I should ever shave it off. I should just, I had a dream. In gold Peruvian letters telling me Pachamama intercession is okay. True, actually. True that.
Good super chat. Thanks for throwing that out there, Wagner. Can we take this to the bathtub? All right. Say what you want.
Yeah. Pauses. Like our knowledge of these things. It just says it with Astro and almost everything. Also, in photos of credibility, the judgment of credibility, Lassard.
Dude, that's awesome. That's super based. We'll be praying for you. I promise. So thank you very much.
I think it's 100, probably.
You think so?
God very rightly, discreetly, and lovingly denies the satisfaction of these beginners.
All right. Well, that's done then. That's done. He's literally 19. He's 19. That's what it is. Yeah, I'll keep it. I'll keep it till I'm Homer Simpson maxing. All right. Oh, yeah. I was going to dive into the William Lane Craig is a heretic clips. The William Lane Craig is a heretic clips. Here was, so did you guys see William Lane Craig literally denied Nicaea? William Lane Craig literally just denied Nicaea. He did this recently. I'm going to play this clip here.
That has become part of the famous Nicene Creed that says that the Son of God is begotten from the Father, not in his human nature, but in his divine nature. That somehow from eternity past, even prior to the incarnation and his virginal conception, the Son of God is begotten from God the Father in his divinity.
So he denies that Jesus Christ is begotten of the Father. What?
New Testament scholars seem to have reached something of a consensus that this is not a doctrine to be found in the New Testament. When John talks about Christ as the only begotten Son of God, he's not talking about him being begotten in his divine nature. Certainly,
what?
Christ is begotten in his human nature in being born of Mary. But I don't think you're going to find very good proof texts.
John 1
in the New Testament that Christ was eternally begotten in his
John 1, bro, in the beginning. Oh my goodness.
divine nature. Rather, the origin of this doctrine stems from what is called Logos Christology. This is the Christology or doctrine of Christ that was enunciated by the early Greek apologists, people like Athenagoras, Tatian, and Justin Martyr in the late 2nd century after Christ. From the Gospel of John's description of the Logos, who in the beginning was with God and was God, they imagined that initially there was just God the Father, and that somehow the mind of the Father proceeded and came forth from him as a second person. And this was then the Son of God who became incarnate in Christ. So the idea was that the second person of the Trinity proceeds out of or emanates out of the first person of the Trinity, the Father. And this Logos Christology became extremely influential in the early church.
So he's denying that Christ is begotten of the Father in his divinity. So, good grief. I mean, this is the problem. This is the problem with Protestantism. You're just bringing up. You're not even inventing new heresies. You're bringing up extremely ancient ones. I mean, he's basically like he's mixing. It's just crazy. Dude.
And it eventually gets ecclesiastical status as authoritative in the Nicene Creed and then the Council of Chalcedon later on.
Chalcedon.
I am skeptical of this doctrine. I don't want to deny outright a doctrine that has such a strong ecclesiastical tradition. But I refrain from affirming it. I do not confess it. So my attitude toward this doctrine would be much like my attitude toward the question of whether there is gold on Mars. I don't believe that there's gold on Mars, but I don't disbelieve that there's gold on Mars either. I just don't have a belief in that regard. And so similarly, I do not believe or confess that the Son is eternally begotten from the Father in his divine nature. And I think in so saying, I am being faithful to the New Testament.
Dog, we should do some I'm kind of done reacting to stuff. You guys want to try and see if we could do like a gaming thing? I think that would be funny. Maybe we could play like Mecha Chameleon. I think that would actually be kind of cool just to test and see if it works. You want to try? You want to try to see if we could do a gaming thing just to try it and see if it works on this rig? I don't know if it will. Gardic phone. Can you even get that on the PC? I think you can only do Discord. I've only played Gardic phone on Discord before. Yeah, do it. Let's do it. Okay, yeah, why not? Yeah, let's try it. I don't know. I don't think Alex is jumping on. I sent him a link. There's a website to play Gardic phone. Oh, true. Could we play that together? I kind of wanted to see if this would work, though. Gardic phone. Now, you guys would like draw some stuff that would get my channel banned. You guys would draw some stuff like against TOS and get me banned. Hold on. Let's see if I can do. Can I even do? Hold on. I'm going to try this. I wonder if it'll lag. Will it lag? Let's see if it lags. Let's see if it gets a little laggy in here. Let's see if it gets a little laggy in here. I am going to see if it will allow me to do all right, hold on. Does that lag for y'all? Does that lag for y'all? Does it lag? Yeah, it's lagging. Somebody said no, it's perfect. No lag, no lag. Some people are saying yes. Y'all be for real. Don't troll me. Is it actually lagging? Hold on. I'm going to look at it on my phone. Dog, it ain't lagging at all. Y'all lying. Y'all straight up lying. Y'all lying on my name right here, dude. Y'all straight up lying on my name, dog. We gotta play Mecha Chameleon, dude. Dog. Mods. Cringe. I don't want to play mods. How do I back out? That sucks. Oh, it literally will not let me back out unless I download this stupid mod they want me to do. That stinks. I just got to close it. All right, let me try again. Yeah, well, it won't let me do it. Hold on. Let's try again. I guess whatever lobby I was trying to join had some cringe mod or something. Boomer moment. Boomer moment. Boomer moment. I want to play Mecha Chameleon. Come on, dude. This is what I want to do. I want to try a little gaming. Let's do a little Cleave to Gaming stream. Yeah, let's all do Roblox communion. No mod. No mod. No mod. Mods suck. I want one that's like close to start. Infection mode? What the heck is that? Dude, that's right. That's right. That's right. I don't even remember how to play. Hold on. Paint mode. That's it. I don't even remember how to play. Hold on. There you go. My beautiful art. My beautiful art. I don't even remember how to play this game. What the heck is going on? Why am I walking so slow? How do I run? What is the run button? Somebody help me. Oh, is it shift? Okay. All right. Bet. Oh, I'm buried too much. Hold on. I think I will literally die if I stay there. They will find me so quick. Wasn't there a way to like, hold on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking, dude. Now we're cooking. I need to go down though. How do I go down? I need to go down. Dog, let me down. All right, here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Hold on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're Gucci. We're Gucci now. I gotta paint myself though. How do I? Where's the eyedropper? Where's the little eyedropper tool? There you go. There you go. Okay, I got it. I got it. Wait, that's not doing nothing. Give me the stupid bell color, dude. Dude, give me the bell color. There you go. There you go. I got to get nice and brown. That's what I got to do. I got to get browned up. There you go. How do I lock it? How do I lock this thing in place? I don't even remember. Lock? Where is the lock button? I don't remember. Where is the lock button? Oh, wait. Rotation lock. This is, oh, hold on. There you go. That's what it is. Okay, okay. Switch to free camera. There you go. There you go. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. Nobody's ever going to find me here. So true. Yeah, we got it. We got it. Hold on. I got to like draw my back. How do I get out of this stupid thing? Okay, 4. Give me paint mode. Give me paint mode, dude. What the heck? F. I hit F. No one will ever find me. I am literally the best hider in this entire game. These chuds, they will never find me. Look, I'm even going to whistle. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'm a professional, okay? I don't like that it's not letting me paint, though. That is kind of annoying. I'm pressing F. They will literally never find me, dude. I'm just too good at this game. Oh, dude. Oh. It's not letting me do anything. Somebody get these beggars out of here. What a good username. Don't whistle. Oh, no, my goodness, bro. He's right there. Can I change my pose? What is going on? Why will it not let me? This is being super annoying. Free camera. Oh, it's because I have free camera mode on. That's why. That's why. Now I can paint. Now I can paint Big Chungus style. Look, they will literally never find me. I'm too good at this game. They will literally never see me pose like this. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. They're never going to see. Ah! They freaking got me, dude. It's over. It's over, dude. I couldn't hide from the master. Oh, is it lagging bad? Is it lagging bad now? You guys let me know. Is it actually lagging now? Or is it pretty good? It's not lagging? Okay, good. Based. Based. Maybe we will. Maybe we can do like a Gardic phone thing. Where could they be hiding? Where could they be hiding? I'll never know. You know what would actually be pretty fun to play? That one game where you're like running a convenience store or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? There's that one game where you're like running a convenience store and you gotta like see if they're a doppelganger. I think I only have that on Xbox though. It is kind of boring, like after you can't, like if you can't find where they're at, it does get kind of boring. All right, yeah, I'm kind of done with this. Yippee! Oh, I can't even jump to my own horrific death. How awful. All right, let's try Gardic phone. Let's see if that's fun. You guys were saying you could play Gardic phone. Let's see. Gardic phone. The telephone game. All right. Cleave to antiquity. Let's see. All right, can I do anonymous? Can I not start my own lobby? Okay, here you go. I guess I can. All right, don't do anything that will TOS my stream though. Let's try. Let's see what we can do. I'm going to put the invite link in the chat if you guys want to play. This is what we're going to do. Yeah, Alex, you got to jump in. You got to jump in and do the and do this thing. Here's the link. Here's the link to join. There's the link to join. You can play it. It's just a browser game. Yeah, join up. Straight up. Join up, dude. Join up. I think the Deb Terra cursed my car. I'm having clutch problems. So true. So true. Well, you know what? I had them come out. I had these guys come out and they did like a coil cleaning for the upstairs attic thing. And it kind of worked, but not really. Now, instead of my house getting to 91 degrees, it only got to 85 today. It only got to 85. Yeah, y'all got to join up. Join up. We got 9. We got 9 players. We need 5 more. There you go. 4 more. 3 more. 3 more players. This is going to be a long game. Draw alternate. You guys are going to be able to, if I don't remember how to play this though, I think it's like you got to like guess what I'm drawing. So you guys are going to know. No, you don't need a mic. You don't need a mic. Oh, somebody popped out. All right, whatever. We're going to start with 10. All right, how about this? I'll give you like another 10 seconds to join. If you want to join, here's the link. Here's the link. Last one. If you guys want to join, 2 more. 1 more. The basis of it all, write and draw alternately until you reach the last turn. All right, I'll try to remember how to play this. Somebody said we should play this. Let's do it. All right, I think that's good enough. I don't think we're getting any more. We got 13 in the lobby. I'm going to go ahead and start it. 3, 2, 1. All right, write a sentence. Giant goblin overlord. There you go. There you go. That's my sentence. Giant goblin overlord. You guys are going to guess it, though, because I'm right here. You can literally see what I'm doing. Yeah, fart smells good. Yeah, I don't know how this is going to work with me streaming it. You guys are going to see what I'm doing. You guys are literally going to see what I'm doing. But that's all right. We'll just do it for fun. I'm kind of bored. The family's out of town, so we'll play a little Gardic phone. Why not? We'll mess around. Oh, I don't remember. Don't you have to guess or something at the end? All right. Hey, old oyster at the church. What the heck is that? Old oyster? Hold on. What is how do I even draw an oyster, dude? An old oyster? I'm just gonna pretend. I'm gonna pretend that's just like a slur for a very wrinkly person. So that's what I'm gonna draw. I'm gonna draw a very. Oh my goodness! Give me my pen back. I'm gonna draw a very like wrinkly old man. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna pretend that's a slur for a very wrinkly old man. I'm gonna give him a nice little mustache. A nice little mustache. Okay. This is my old oyster. I'm just going to pretend it's a slur because I don't know how to draw an oyster. There you go. All right, let's do this. Old people have super long earlobes. This is actually true. Hold on. Where's a timer? Am I missing a timer? Oh, it's right up here. I see it. I see it. Okay, so I still have time to add some wrinkles to the guy. There you go. Okay, okay. There you go. This is my old oyster. I got to give him nice defined cheekbones because he was a Chad. He was a Chad before he was old. There you go. Nice little thing there. Well, I got to give him like a little. Let me give him another ear. There you go. Oh, old people always have like super old. He's got to have the ear hairs. I'm getting them too. So I am old. I am literally this guy right now. All right, that's me. That's my old oyster. Oh, wait, he's got to be at the church. Hold on. it messed up. Oh, wait, that's not time up. Okay. I got it. There you go. Old oyster. Old oyster at the church. Oh, I only gave him one earring, so I guess he's a little sassy. Hold on, I got to give him two. There you go. There you go. I'm proud. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. What is this scene? Super dog. That's what it looks like to me. Super dog. How are you going to draw him in church? I don't know. I don't know. Super dog. There you go. Fabulous oyster. Nice. Time to draw the proof of Catholicism. Hold on. All right. I got it. Super easy, dude. Pachamama's got kind of a thick dumper there. So I got to give her the big, giant, pregnant belly. Isn't that always how the Pachamamas look? They always have like a little mixed up intestine looking fetus. It doesn't even look like a fetus. It's just like a little mixed up bowl of spaghetti. There you go. There's your Pachimama. It's all red too. Is there a filling tool? Oh, there is one. Why am I not coloring this stuff in? Pachamama is very brown. So there's your Pachamama, your brown Pachamama. Hold on. Can I zoom in? Is that possible? I don't think I can. Can I actually zoom in? No. Dang it. Hold on. Okay, so I still got time, so I just gotta draw like Pope Leo, like awooga. Like Pope Leo's like awooga. Oh wait, no, when you're doing like the awooga, is there an undo? When you're doing the awooga, the pupils are like out from their eyeball. There you go. This is gonna be like the ugliest Pope Leo. Does Pope Leo have hair? Yeah, he does. I'm just gonna here you go. That's him. Oh wait, I'll just make it a random priest. I'm not doing Leo. I'm just gonna make it a random priest. I'll give him the collar. Awooga. Awooga wooga. There you go. That's my masterpiece. Now I gotta. Oh my goodness. No! I don't have enough time. It's over. I'm cooked. I don't have enough time. my masterpiece, my Pachamama masterpiece. Oh, come on. No, you ruined his eyeball. Whatever. I'm just leaving it like that. Doesn't need to be touched. It's perfect as it is. It's perfect as it is. This is my beautiful Pachamama. It's your turn to describe this. What the heck is this? Snowman. It looks like somebody tried to say Alex Soren. Snowman Alex. There you go. That's what I'm guessing that is. That looks like a snowman. Snowman Alex. Alex Soren. So a snowman. I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty confident in my guess here. Cocaine field. How do you draw that? It's just white. That doesn't make any sense. How do I even draw that? It's just white. That makes no sense. All right, hold on. I know what I can do. 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 All right, hold on. By the way, guys, don't draw anything that will get me TOS'd, or I'll have to stop. There you go. Hold on. There you go. All right. So he's sniffing. It's going straight up there. There you go. It's just a big funnel of sniffs. There you go. Okay, now I got to give him some skin. Perfect. And I just have to make this white. And that's a perfect drawing right there, dude. And it's over. Oh, my goodness. Ah, ruined. I got to connect the little line here. There you go. Okay. That's it. Oh, wait. I got to do that too. So it's obvious. All right. I can add some little details to him since I still have some time. But I feel like I don't have to. Maybe I could just draw like a little nice man. Wait, that's not right. I could draw like a little nice fella. I can draw like a little nice fella. There you go. A little nice man. A little nice man in the field. He's having a nice day. He's very happy. A little nice fella. A little nice fella in the field, having a nice day. It's a poop. Dog. For real? Poop. I kind of want people to draw something else, though. So why don't I just do chocolate? I can't spell chocolate. Chocolate meal. There you go. I'll just say chocolate meal. This is a high quality Cleave to Antiquity stream. It's just people drawing poop. Cleave's handsome face card. All right, I got it. I got to do like I got to do a masterpiece. I got to do a masterpiece. This is going to blow your minds, okay? This is going to blow your minds. Actually, I hate this. This sucks. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it so much better than you even thought I was going to do it, okay? Look, Check this out. This is going to be amazing. And I think you're actually really going to probably hate it. Hold on. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Well, I got to give myself little eyeballs like this. Okay. But this is the most important detail right here. There you go. There you go. This is the most important detail here. And then perfect. I give myself a little mustache, and I got to give myself my beautiful hairline. Hold on. It's like that. And then it's just like right here. And that's all. There you go. Now I got to be hunched over because I'm gaming all day. I got to be hunched over. I'd be like a hunched over mongoloid. That's what I got to do. I just got to be a hunched over mongoloid. Hold on. That's perfect. That's a masterpiece. I think that actually looks exactly like me. I think that actually is me. Hold on. I gave myself some thicker eyebrows, though. That's beautiful. I love that. That's good. Hold on. Chef's kiss. Beautiful. I think we have a winner, dude. I think we have a winner, dude. We have a winner, dude. That is literally me, actually. I think that's pretty accurate. Trinity plus circle heresy. I'm just going to say William Lane Craig. Easy, done. William Lane Craig. Well, so Trinity plus circle heresy. What am I missing? What am I missing? Trinity plus circle heresy? I don't even know. I don't know what they're talking about. Overly brownish pine cone. It's a turd. This is the turd one again. You know, I'm just drawing something else. I don't know. Is that a distasteful just to draw something else? You know what? I'll do this. I'll make a nice pine cone, but I will make it nice and animated like a little Disney character. I'll make it nice and animated like a little Disney character. I'll make him so lovable. He was originally a little turd, but he's not going to be a turd anymore. He's going to be your nice little pine cone buddy. And he's going to give you life advice. And he's going to make you invest in cryptocurrency and be poor forever. And he's going to scam you into buying his meme coin. This is what it is. This is what has to be done. I think that's about it. I mean, there's not much else I could do. I should have made the timer shorter. This masterpiece did not take long. This was very short. Should I give him like should make him like should give him like a body or something. And a nice little polo. I'll give him a nice polo. Nice friggin' giant broad shoulders. This guy's a Chad, dude. There you go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Chef's kiss. You know what? I even have more time. I'll give him a shadow. I'll even give him a little shadow. How about I'll even shade him up, dude. I'll give him a nice little profile shadow there. So you know I'm serious. So you know I'm an actual artiste. So you know I'm a legitimate artisto. I'll give him a little shadow. Overly brownish pine cone. That originally was literally a turd. Heartbreak. Heartbreak. I'm just gonna type in My face when Latina rejection. There you go. Easy peasy. My face when Latina rejection. It's over, dude. It's over. I'm probably just going to play this one round and wrap up. This is fun, but I feel like it's not fun for the audience. This is fun, but I feel like it's not fun for the audience. Maybe we could do this as Zest Fig LGBT jaw. So I got to draw. I don't know what Zest Fig is. Maybe just Zesty jaw. I don't know how to draw the Jesus and whatnot guy, but I could just draw somebody super zesty. I'll just draw somebody super zesty. The most zesty man in the world. The most zesty man in the world. How do I draw somebody zesty though? Hold on. Oh, you got to give him like a. You got to give him like a oh. You got to give him the eyebrows. That's what you do. And then you got to give him a little zesty smirk. That's what you got to do. Oh yeah, he looking zesty. You got to give him the little earring. Oh no, wait, they always have the little this kind of earring. They always got that. And then you do like a little slick back haircut or something. I don't know. What kind of haircuts zesty people got? I got no idea. Oh yeah, you got to give him a little Simpson lip. Kind of like you ever seen Goofy movie? Like that kind of art style. It's like Goofy movie art style. I'll give him a polo, but it's like a little floppy one. So it's got a little extra sass. Oh, and then he's got to drink stuff with his pinky out. That's what it is. So you give him a little drinky poo. Have him stick his pinky out. Oh, wait. I got to do the fingers on the cup first. Hold on. There you go. Little pinky finger action. Dude, I'm freaking locked in. I'm locked in for the zesty drawing. Oh, no, I'm almost over. It's almost over. Dude, I'm cooked. I'm cooked. I was going to color him. Do I have time? Probably not. I don't even have time to try to. That's done. Done. No color on this one. Just zesty guy drinking the world's shakiest glass of water. That's Canada. I'm just going to say, I was going to say, let's do Father Ron because Father Ron is Canadian. There you go. I'll make this one Father Ron. This is Father Ron for sure. Our favorite Canadian in the entire country, Father Ron. Zesty and British. For the previous drawing, zesty and British. Wait, what do I do? What do I do? I just hit start. Okay, giant goblin overlord. Okay, I see it. Green Lantern. Okay. Firelight lamp. There you go. That's a good drawing. That one's got at least some color in it. Street light. Butt cheeks destroyer. What a crazy username. Stop. There you go. That's not bad. My face win Catholic heresy. Oh, stop. Pope gay. Gay Pope guy. Nice. That's funny. Who's next? Bobby's. Jesus and Whatnot's dream. Nice. Latinas. That's good. The proof of Catholicism, Latina dreams. There you go. There's my Pachamama. That's so funny. Man watches pregnant lady. Oh, I see you. That's so funny, dude. Weirdo. Why they got it? It was Pachamama. Nice. That's so good. Yeah, there you go. They got that one. Weirdo watches Pachamama. Crackhead Pachamama. They all got it. Fence Sniffer 3000. Nice. That's funny. Oh, that's me. Cleave the incense. True. W incense. We got this one, dude. We got this, guys. Cleave to incense. That was good. All right, let's see if this one's funny again. Donkey flying to the moon. Okay. See, I thought it was a dog. I mean, I guess they kind of look the same if you're drawing that small. Super dog. Yeah, that's good. That's a good drawing. Yeah, see, we got it. We all got it. Super dog over and over and over again. I like his face. Super dog flying. That's hilarious. Dog man flying through city. How did they see it was a dog from that small? A dog flying over a city. Okay. It's just like the same thing over and over again. He said, I got no idea, dude. All right, let's see. What is this next one? I hope this next one. Batman mugging a blind man. All right, let's see if this is funny. I don't even know what. That looks like perfect cell. Pachamama, Pope, and Lady fighting. I don't know what that is. That's a mess. Empty? Lame. What is this? A broken heart. My face went Latino rejection. Oh, sad no Latinas. Fearless truth. Is that true? Fearless truth. That's funny. All right, let's see. Fruit scroll ups. The Bible. What the? Czar Bomba. There you go. Yeah. Oh! Tower of India with poop. Poop tower. Oh, this is where we got Pinecone Man. This is where Pinecone Man came from. Really cool pinecone guy. Nice. Lame. All right, let's see. Cleve and Whatnot is a Peruvian Pachamama holiday. That's how you draw me. That's horrible. Cleve mogging. Dog. Cleve the bald man. That's close enough. There you go. There you go. WWW. So true. We're on the mind meld. That was the same exact hairline I drew. We're on the mind meld. We're on the mind meld. Cool and rich. Nice. Bling bling thingy. I don't know what that is. Okay. How many more do we have? Oh, we have a couple. Can I speed this up? Is that not a possibility? Steak with mac and cheese. Yeah, it literally looks like poop. A chocolate meal. Oh, yeah. Hey, that's actually pretty good. Whoever the Bobby guy was, that's pretty good. A literal chocolate meal. Yeah, exactly. That was pretty good. Bird yelling at tired chocolate bar. Oh, yeah, I guess I see that. Duck box. I like Alex Soren. Alex Soren in the chat. Hey, that's pretty good. That does actually look like Alex. Ortho lawyer blowing bubble smoke. So true. Oh, there you go. Yep. Alex Soren snowman. True. Truke. Snowman blowing a pipe that blows bubbles. That's a shofar, dude. He's friggin' Jewish snowman right here blasting the shofar. Alex Soren with the shofar. Nice. EO lawyer Chad. I think that's it. All right. Now we're on Butt Cheeks Destroyer. Canadian flag. I think they just go back and forth to doing the Canadian flag thing for a while until I change it to Father Ron. Yep. Flag, flag, flag. Flag, flag, flag. Nice. '66 book King James Bible. Order. How are y'all having empty responses? Yeah, there you go. King James, very based. That's right. That's right. That's right, brother. Right there. That's that 66 book King James Bible. Martin Luther's first, fourth person. Oh, that's what it was. That's what it was. Martin Luther is a heretic. I get it. William Lane Craig. What the heck? William the Apollinarian. I don't know who that is. Who that is? Who that is? All right, let's see this one. Only the last three, and then we'll wrap up. Jesus and whatnot going crazy over Jay's claims. Jay liar. It's so true. Jesus and chatbot. Yeah. Oh, yeah, true that. The little sparkle. Best friend when streaming. Not Shimon kissing buddy. Gay Catho. Jaw. That's funny. Zesty flag. Zesty flag. Zest fig LGBTQ jaw. There you go. Zesty. Eminem on drugs. Nice. Old oyster at the church. Yeah, I had no idea. There you go. I took it as a slur. Old oyster is ortho, bruh. Nice. What's your claims? So true. Ortho, bro. Orthodoxy is base. Truth nuke right there. Me. Yeah, who's supposed to respond to me? Oh, yeah, there you go. At least I drew it. Michael Lofton. Charity and nuance. Hey, that's a good one. That's a good one. All right, last one. Sam smooching jaw. Oh, they didn't draw it. They just drew a little. They just drew a little tree. Cocaine field. There you go. What? All right, I'm done. I'm done. Gardic phone. All right, I'm done with Gardic phone. All right, that was fun. We tried it. We tried doing a little gaming stream, I feel like it would be better for maybe member stuff. Like we could do like a gaming stream for members or something and do like a game that we could all play together. Like I don't know, what would be some good games to play together? We could do like, I feel like Minecraft maybe is a little too involved, but we could do, I have been playing that one game, that zombie game on the Xbox. If I could get a capture card, I would do a No Room Left in Hell gaming stream. I think you can party up in that game. That would be fun. If I could get a capture card for the Xbox, we could play No Room Left in Hell 2. That was fun. Hey, thanks for the super chat, bro. Appreciate you. By the way, y'all, it's coming up on my birthday. It's gonna be my birthday in 4 days. Can you believe that? It's gonna be my birthday in 4 days. We gonna party up. We gonna party tonight. On my birthday, we're gonna stream me getting screamed at by Mauler. That would be cool. Yeah, we'll do me streaming getting screamed at by Mauler on my birthday. No, I'll probably just do a chill stream or something. We'll react to crap. Dude, straight up, bro. I can't believe after spending like close to $4,000 on this AC unit, it's still not fixed. Oh my goodness, bro. Oh, hey, speaking of Sam, we're gonna do a I'm gonna have him on to do like a 5 best arguments against Islam show. But that one's gonna be pre-recorded, and I'm gonna have that be something I release when I'm out on vacation. So we're gonna film that next week, Thursday. And what I was thinking about doing was maybe in the future, me and Sam can do Muslim debate call-ins. That might be fun. Because I mean, Sam is honestly the master, I think, at anti-Islam debating. Out of anybody else there in the sphere, Sam is probably the best at addressing Islam. So I think that would be fun to do, like maybe in the future, me and Sam Shimon do a do a anti-Islam thing. Yeah, I tuned into the Pine Sap thing. Yapping about politics. Yapping about politics. That's right. That's right. Yapping about politics. Pine Sap and his politics. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's gonna be, well, it's not my birthday yet. It'll be the 25th. 25th will be my birthday. I'll do like a birthday stream or something, maybe during the day. Maybe I'll do an early birthday stream. That'd be cool. All right, y'all. Who's still streaming? Who's streaming? I'll send y'all somewhere. Where should I send y'all? Yeah, we lost like half our people doing the gaming stuff. Who's streaming? No, keep going. All right. Anybody still streaming or no? Let's see. Redirect. Nah, I'm done. I got to go hop on the phone with the wife. I got to pick her up maybe from the airport at like 6 a.m. in the morning. Nobody streaming? Hold on. Let me check my live tab. Let me check my live tab right now. Let me check my live tab. Oh, Church of the Eternal Logos. Is he going? Oh, he is. Yeah. I'll send you over to Dr. DPH. I'll send you over to DPH. Church. Hold on, dang it. Church. Oh, we might also do another Orthodox Avengers one. Jay said he was down. So we might do me, Alex Soren, Jay Dyer debunk stream soon. I don't have a date for that though. Wait, it said it was going. Does he not take raids? Church of the Eternal Logos. No, it just says upcoming. Oh, he's not live anymore. It just says live in the thumbnail. Cringe. All right, I'm just wrapping it up. Later, dude. I'm going to talk to y'all later. Peace out. See ya. Hasta la vista.